Hello, chat. Welcome out. Just waiting on Tomato, and then we're going to wait for the actual time to start, and then we'll get started. Welcome to episode 3, everyone. Good to see you. Tomato should be along shortly. Yeah, Abby? Welcome in, Raiders. We'll be setting up in a second. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we're going to get started in 2 minutes, chat. Okay, let me tell the players. Alright. Slowly bring this one down, and I'll unmute.
The entire party, only one player knew what those references. I was just like, "There's a cute plush goblin man. That's funny." And then everyone's just like, "Wah!" I was just like,
Hello, everyone. Hello.
"Hello, woo!"
How we doing? We doing good?
Okay.
Good. Well, welcome out to episode 3. We are. Something I should say for next week, I believe it's Brizzy, you're not here next week, and then Mark, you're not here the week after. We will still be playing chat, but we'll be probably focusing on a lot of side stuff and whatnot, and the show will still go on. But yeah, is there anything anyone wants to shout out before we kind of dive into things? Any
I will do
stuff? Yeah?
I will do a couple of things if people don't mind. I was just going to say,
Go.
I was going to say thank you very much to Brizzy, who joined me on this charity game we did on Monday.
Yeah.
We raised like $1,500 for Jasper's Game Day, which was really awesome. We had a really great time playing with that. I think it's all on the D&D Beyond Twitch channel or YouTube channel. The VODs will go up on there, I think. It was really, really fun. I had Brizzy and Michael Galvis from D&D Beyond and lovely players, and they helped raise a load of money for charity. So just thank you, anybody who came along to watch that. I saw quite a few people from Mistletoe and High Rollers in the chat. So it was very sweet. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah.
Thanks for running a fun game. You're welcome. I wanted more.
Okay, went well. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, has anyone got anything else they want to share?
No.
No? Well then,
No.
No.
who
Stop.
wants to do the recap? Is there any volunteers?
I know who does. Because they already said they did.
Yeah, well, but then Brizzy's not here next week. I feel like Brizzy should do it this week.
Oh, here it goes. Starts. It begins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I go.
Brizzy voice actress. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Brizzy voice actress, my full name.
Brizzy voice actress.
Like when you get in trouble from your mom, that's what she says.
Brizzy voice actress. Are you gonna do this intro or not?
Yeah. Go to your room.
Okay. Well, last we left off, we found ourselves face to face with grendlings, blood-red creatures that had attacked Herod during the festival. After dispatching them, we confirmed that Grendel had returned for the first time in decades. On our way back to rest, Draven discovered Thrudder, which is how I like to say it. Thrudder had been poisoned with Aether Drop, an extremely rare and potent poison. Someone had tried to kill the gods and ended up nearly killing her. Nearly. We subdued the poison, giving ourselves a few days. We captured a spy working for someone named Spring in the Hall of Spoken Coin, and went to our rooms to rest, debating what to do the next day.
Freudian slip about hell, I think.
Yeah.
And we leveled up.
And you leveled up.
Hey.
Yeah, you are all level 3. You're all level 3 now.
Finally.
So, you wake the next morning. Be it you might have slept well, you might have slept terribly from yesterday's events, but you did sleep nonetheless. Each of you are kind of separated into different rooms. I believe Willoughby stayed in the same room as Thrud. Juno and Draven got their own rooms. Lena and Eldred got a room together. You wake up the next day, you can hear people kind of shuffling outside, and the kind of festival is continuing, as if to suggest that yesterday's events wouldn't bring it down. You can hear some people already kind of gone back to music and drinking and talking. But a lot more kind of throughout the morning, just a lot of people talking outside your rooms, and you'd hear the occasional people just be like, "Did you see what happened last night?" People kind of spreading the rumors around the entirety of Herod. What would you like to do in the morning?
Stretch. Are our beds comfy? Do they feel
Yeah, I
good?
mean, you were given kind of free
Alright.
reign to get rooms as you
Sweet.
dealt with some Grenley.
Then we picked a fucking
Yeah,
good one. We
nice
slept
feathered rooms.
great. Yeah.
Willoughby, did you say? Wait, did you? I can't remember now. Did you move Thrud, or did you leave her in that room?
I wanted to have her stay in
the room, yeah.
because I was also at the same time detecting poison
Yes.
and magic to make sure that there wasn't any, stuff going on in there while also keeping watch over her.
Yeah.
So he stayed there for the duration of the night. I think he would have stepped out at one point when I checked like the building
Yeah.
for poison, which came back with nothing, and then he would have returned and stayed there
Yeah.
for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. So you would have woken up next to, or not even woken up because you have Sentry's Rest. You would have stayed there and be up past the time. Like your body kind of rejuvenates during the night, and you kind of get that refreshing feeling.
Do you like lay
Thrud is still
down,
there.
or when you stand there, do you look like a tree
Just
that's
stands there.
like?
He just kind of stands there.
Yeah.
Completely emotionless.
Thrud, for you, Willoughby, go ahead and do a general just medicine check.
Sure.
I believe in you.
That's
shit.
23.
You can tell that, having observed her during the night as well, it's clear that her body is kind of fighting back pretty heavily against this poison. She's not winning, per se. You can tell she's still weakened by it, and it's a very powerful poison. But at the very least, she doesn't seem to have worsened much overnight. It looks like the help that Juno and Draven both gave to her has sustained the poison to give you far more time to look into any choice of cure. Along with the fact that she is a pretty tough lady herself. She is going to be able to hold back against it for a little while. So you have days, not hours. You have time.
Okay.
Sweet.
Has anyone else at any point tried to enter the room aside from that one
I would say
person spring?
you might have had like a moment where like a drunken person might have kind of stumbled against the door but go, oh, it's not my room. And kind of like move off to one side. But no one's actively
We've all
tried to
been
come
there.
in there. Yeah. Yeah. Someone might have peeked in, not seen, but no one's suspicious. No one's kind of come in. It seems to be one of those side rooms where, private dealings might happen. Kind of like a conference room at a hotel.
As a group have, if I'm remembering correctly, did not go like, oh my god, Thrud's been freaking poisoned, and tell anyone. We've been kind of
Yeah, you haven't told anyone.
secretive. so
Yeah.
far.
We were talking about who we were going to tell, but we never told anyone else
Yeah.
other than that.
I think today we need to decide if we're taking this secret to our graves or
Yes.
telling someone, or
I
we're
agree.
gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I'm assuming that we would have like woken up and then kind of headed over to the room because we all knew Willoughby was gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you don't do that, but yeah.
I sort of have to be dragged begrudgingly
Oh,
when the sun
Fred.
comes up.
Let's see. Come on. Like,
All right. Kind of crawl.
I'm just gonna like hold your stuff out.
I start like wiggling into the armor and
I'm gonna, like,
putting on the
Yeah.
shield.
Help you put your like a little kid. Let me hold your
It's like a
coat
work
up so you
outfit,
can.
but you're,
Yeah.
You're putting it
Hey,
on.
if you've ever wearing chainmail, there is literally a thing called the chainmail dance to get in and out of it. So
really?
that is
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah. You have to wiggle, do a lot of wiggling to get out of that stuff. Joe, just because I'm transferring all my notes into a new Mistletoe only notebook.
Yeah.
The head of Herot is Hrothgar.
That's
was
right.
the king?
Yep.
King Hrothgar.
Yep.
And he's like the older king.
Yes.
Then he had a son, which is Prince
Hrethic. Hrethic.
Hrothgar. I'm not going to be able to say that. And then there was also the prophet as well. Did we learn their name?
I don't think we asked.
I don't think you asked.
Old twig eyes.
Yeah,
Twig
also,
eyes.
we all just were like, oh yeah, that dude has twigs growing out of his eyes. Like, none of us like fucking batted an eyelash. We were just like,
I'm
yeah,
made out
that
of
makes
twigs,
sense.
Asgard
That's
shit.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Asgard shit.
that's good shit. And now,
Gabe's like, no,
I was
thought it
like, why
weird.
is he looking at me? And we're like, no, that just happens.
That's old crazy Paul. He just has twigs growing out of his eyes.
Right, you guessed
Oh,
his
yeah,
name.
great.
Yeah.
damn. And then Spring is this like spy mistress, or like some sort of person who's involved in the comings and goings of Herod in the
Kind of
Hall
a,
of Spoken Coin.
Exactly.
Okay.
Spoken coin sounds not good for us.
I think that Willoughby is we do need to decide what are we telling King Hrothgar about what has happened here, or the prince perhaps. I think the king seemed wise, but I worry that such news may be harmful to them.
Yeah,
More
let's tell them.
We
Okay.
should.
Or
tell
else they'll
them.
do
They should know.
investigation and they'll find some evidence we were there, and then we will be suspects.
We either need to tell them or we need to dispose of this body somewhere where it's not going to be found anytime soon, because, boy, oh boy, if we're keeping a secret like this for more than an evening, it certainly
Yes.
doesn't look good for us.
No, I agree. I think that I agree. I think that we should tell the king and the prince and let them know what happened. We can let them know that we estimate that about 2 days. Not that I think any of us have the power to do anything about it, but maybe they can do something if they want to. I've done all I can for now. But I'm interested about this Spring and what her interest in Thrud and what is going on here. But I know that some of you also wish to pursue the Grendel. And then there is also more of Herod to see. We did not exactly get a chance to explore this place and see what is happening here.
If Spring has people find things out, maybe we should start there. Like, start with someone who knows what's going on, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always cautious of people that send others to do their business for them. I think that this Spring will likely be looking for an angle to use against us, but I think you're right. If they're likely to already know or certainly suspect that something is afoot, perhaps it would be wise to go and speak to them first.
Now that we mention it, I think I had a dream last night of a pink flower blooming, growing out of a light bit of snow, and then it turned to black and withered. So I'm intrigued by Spring.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Do you often have dreams like that?
I have dreams. You don't have dreams?
Well,
No.
I have dreams, but they're
You don't-
strange.
He chimes in.
I mean, that's a
Michael
pretty-
looking at.
Tame
Oh, 'cause you
dream,
don't
I would
sleep.
say.
So you don't have dream because you don't sleep. Makes sense.
You daydream.
No.
Do you have aspirations and dreams for your life?
Oh, I have plenty of dreams. In
All right.
that sense. Sure.
Yes.
That's good.
Whether they're actually attainable or things I can pursue are a different story.
Oh.
That's interesting. I'd be interested to hear what these dreams of yours are, perhaps one day, Willoughby. You seem to be
one-
serving your gods rather reluctantly, so I'd be interested to know what you would rather be doing.
Oh, there's a whole list, but it's certainly not
Another
something we have time for now.
No, I agree. But in the future, I have many questions for all of you, in fact, but I don't think that we have the time to go into them. Yes, so, Spring, are we all agreed that that is where we should go, or?
Spring.
Sounds like as good of an idea as any.
All right.
Okay.
Draven wants to grab Thrud's hammer.
Have you done enough? You have taken gems from her body. You have. Who knows what you were going to do when you came here?
Raven.
Now you're trying to take the legendary hammer.
They're going to see you dragging that hammer around outside, and they are going to get.
This thing is legendary. How?
Draven, by all means, go ahead.
What is
Where
your
are you going
strength,
to
Draven?
put it?
A 18.
You can lift it. Barely.
Does it feel weird?
It's heavy. It's clearly it's got like almost like a vibration to it. It's kind of series of like almost like linen wraps that have been taken all the way down the hilt of it, all the way down to the base, and then the actual head. It's very squared off. It seems like it's going to be a lot of kind of drawings, no actual writing on it. Mostly of Thrud herself. Sometimes riding on the back of a large goat and like kind of standing on top of this kind of mountainous area. Another one where she's standing atop a giant, but like a lot of small drawings on it. But the actual head of it is very block-like. It's not really kind of designed to have any anything beautiful around it. In terms of it feels heavier than it should be. But with an 18 strength, you can just wield it.
It's a two-handed hammer, though, right? I think
It
you
is a
remember
maul, yeah.
Yeah, it's a two-handed. So it's this, and it doesn't look like Mjolnir, right? Like, because that's meant to be like a little tiny hammer.
It's not. Yeah, it's not Mjolnir.
Are you going to like? How are you going to? Are you going to hide it, or just going to take it with?
Does it do
Thrud
anything?
gave me this.
Is it like...
You're not shooting lightning bolts out of your eyes, and you're not flying around on the clouds, so my knowledge of these things
I mean, it looks
exhausted.
good.
Is that a thing that happens?
I read something about Thor's hammer can do that, but I'm guessing this isn't it.
Just a
Do you
hammer.
want to smash a table?
I think Thor made this.
Can we not do the smashing while people can hear?
Is Thor a smith?
tiny
Did he
step.
make this?
No,
Is it connected to Thor?
it may be connected, but Thor would not be the one who made it.
Before you
Raven
tamper
closes
with-
his eyes. Go ahead.
I just look at Willoughby and I share an exasperated look.
Before we start tampering with any more else of Thrud's, we should really establish if we want to tell anyone or continue to look like we have murdered and or poisoned her
Stolen
every time
everything.
someone may enter this room.
I agree with the tree.
Yes. If you're going to do anything, Draven, I'm going to leave before you do it. So I have plausible deniability, and
So-
I'm going to leave.
Oh, I like you.
But what if you wait outside?
I'll give you 5 minutes, and I will go out and stand in the corridor far away from this room.
Then is everyone else staying? I don't know.
Wilby is gonna walk out with Juno.
I'm too
I'll-
curious.
I'll lean back against the wall and just wait. But as
Shut
I
the-
do,
shut
I'm
the
gonna
door.
take a little coin out of my pocket and just kind of move it across my fingers.
It's
I sit on the
disconcerting.
floor. Cross my legs.
Okay, and so then he holds it maul side down
Mhm.
and clasps the hammer.
Mhm.
Closes his eyes. So, don't know if this works. I am not your daughter. I don't know if you can hear me. Your daughter is very sick. Someone tried to kill her thinking it was you. I picked up the mole hoping you would hear it with some familial... I don't know how your god's shit works. My name is Draven. I am hoping this finds you, and you will come save your daughter poisoned by, and he opens one eye. Leanne, what the hell was that thing called? The
Drop.
what?
It's Iter drop.
I to drop. Flower, I thought it was a snake.
No, the
Jormungandr.
Yes. I to drop and or Jormungandr, something. They tried to kill you and failed. I hope you get this. Okay. Please don't kill me and or my or associates you should see me with. Okay.
Roll a D100.
Oh God, why?
I'm gonna just look at
I'm
Eldred.
so glad I'm not.
Please roll this in Roll20 so I can see it.
Yeah, dude.
Please.
Come
Ew.
on.
Oh, it's pretty high.
It's an 85.
If it's a 15% chance, you're fucked.
What do you mean? I'm living. Thor's a family man.
As you kind of wrap your fingers around it, you feel like a little bit of a buzz of electricity hit your fingertips.
Oh shit!
and then it fades.
I don't. And if that means nothing, I'm still scared. Cool. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah?
And as we start walking out, he's gonna lean the maul against the door, and so that it closes with the maul trying to keep the door shut.
It's actually, yeah, that's genius.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Okay. you hear the door just kind of slam shut, and it's heavy against it. Keeps it
How are
pretty,
we going? Never mind.
Okay.
We're just about to come back up here with the king or someone soon anyway.
Oh shit!
Well, you moved it once. You just push the door. Move it again.
yeah.
It's fine.
What up?
It's fine. You know,
A fun
you
idea.
broke the door yesterday, so you just do that again. It's fine.
This criticism, or are you just making statements?
No, I mean, it's fine. You just break the door again. Then we're in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
Juno was a little judgy because she seems to think things through.
She
Which is
does. She's
great.
very
It's
thoughtful.
it's great. It's great. She doesn't know what it's like to stab someone.
Give her a knife.
Oh no, no!
Okay.
She'll stab me.
I don't. Would she?
Go find out. Not now. I'm just heading towards the brothers.
Yeah, you, Willoughby and Juno, you outside? You waiting
Yeah,
for
I
me?
would have been outside. I don't want to be anywhere near a possible explosion.
Yeah, I think like
Alright.
Juno is looking at Willoughby like, yeah, we made the right choice. As we're like waiting down the hall.
You know, at the end of the day, it's better them than us. If they all explode,
It's their choice, you know.
It's their
They had the choice to do it. I appreciate the curiosity in what might happen. I don't want to be there. I would like to live and see things and experience the world, at least for another few years. I'm not that old. I still have a lot to do and see. So, but speaking, you must have been around for some time, Willoughby. I imagine you've.
I've been around
seen
for
a lot.
some time. Yes, I've seen plenty.
Did you? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say that you spent time in Athela, the third world, the bridge
Oh
world?
yes, I spent a good 20 years there.
Were you just wandering around? Were you trapped there? Or-
It was more of a trapped situation.
Fascinating.
Planar portals are kind of a finicky thing.
I-
Sometimes they can just close behind you and seal you in a
Oh.
realm you're unfamiliar with. But that was actually quite a benefit to me, because the one place gods or anyone really couldn't get to me was in another realm.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to learn more about it. I know nothing about Athela. The Mesogaia we
Athela's
have.
lovely. It's
Really?
truly lovely
Oh,
compared to here.
well, that
This
sounds
place-
nice.
Sometimes this place is more of a shithole to me nowadays. I'm sort of sick of it.
Have you ever visited Mesogaia?
No. Well, no.
I think that
No,
you
I
would like,
wasn't.
again, parts of it. There are some places in Mesogaia which are a shithole as well, like many places here, but there are some really wonderful places. Athra, my home city, I think you would like it. It's, it's a good place.
I would certainly love to visit whenever I'm done with all of my work, all of my horrible work. This
Well-
awful work I have to do.
If there's
I'd
a way
like to
that
get
we can
back
help speed
to-
it up. Yes, we should get back to you.
anything else. Truly.
Yes.
But maybe I'll take you up on that one day.
I hope I can show you.
Are they dead in there?
Well,
I mean-
absolutely nothing happened.
Ah, there we go. What a shame.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you
Was
are not
bust.
dead or smote with lightning. I don't know what you were hoping for. Am I
Draven
looking
is
Eldred when I
looking-
say that? Like,
Draven is just looking at his hands. And so, like, what you're saying is, I would have felt something akin to lightning if it worked.
Yeah. Probably. Like a zap stuff.
Like a sharp, quick zap in your hands if
Probably
you were.
pretty big.
Well,
Like
I would say that if it worked, it would have been more of like and kind of you just
Yeah,
kind of
and like a-
explode.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't really look like you're able to handle the kind of power that Thor can produce, if I'm being honest. No offense to you, of course, but
None. Do you think Thor hears people who pray to him?
I think
They
they
hold
all
his
hear it. I
daughter's
think they
hammer.
just don't care.
Oh.
Well, if that is the case and they hear anybody that prays to them, they either need to be able to understand and listen to tens, hundreds of thousands of voices at one time, or they just don't, and they don't care. I imagine more of the latter in most cases.
they've been gods for a long time, and that's a lot of people praying to them for a long time.
There may be some
Desensitize
magical
anyone.
element that allows them to process so many messages at once, but I imagine if not, they would just simply ignore it. Like the buzzing of flies, I imagine.
A question. How much are we telling Hrothgar about?
That's a
Are we
very
telling
good
him?
question. I think maybe we should wait until we speak to this spring before we decide that, maybe.
That's a good
I think we should tell the king first before they
I think we should
discover
tell the
her.
king first. Okay.
Yeah.
We could
Right,
use the
get
king's
ahead
I
of
know
it.
Lena was interested in speaking to Spring first. I'm just checking what's
Yeah,
how.
I don't either. I think it's okay. We just
Okay.
is he awake? If he is awake, we could tell him now. If he's not,
I'm sure
awake, we
I'm
go,
sure the prince will be awake if the king is.
What if the king's dead?
What if
That
he's dead?
would really make this hard.
What if the prince is dead?
Dying.
Wasn't the
I
prince
like the
supposed to be
prince
killed by
better.
the king from the prophecy?
We can
Killed by his
always-
own hand, yes. We're not quite sure if that is very metaphorical. His actions, his hands, the labors of his hands, yada, yada, yada.
Old sky couldn't kill anything.
How literal do your prophecies go? Because
There's no such thing as fate. Fate is for the gods.
Exactly.
Mortals aren't bound by it.
do you think there's a possibility that his hand is referring to the hand of Grendel that he owned and is now gone?
Yeah, it could be, right? It could be a command he says. It could be the hand
Well,
of Grendel. It
you
could
see-
be his. It's not going to be his actual hand. That man is very old.
Not trying to sound insensitive, but that prophecy is not our problem. Our
yeah.
problem is the one we've already been told by the prophet, and
5 trees.
Thrud that's currently dying on the ground.
Also,
Die.
Problem.
prophecies, they're so vague. He said, oh, die by my hand. That could mean a million things. That's many of these prophets, they use this language which can be interpreted whichever way you want it to be.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and you were born on the 5th day of the whatever. You have this special sense about you that actually everyone else can see the same thing in
Yes.
themselves.
I don't believe in it, but sure.
Well, let's
And
go find
I-
out. Maybe he's dead now. We could just go find out.
Let's go find out if the king is dead. If the king is dead, we've got so many problems, and I don't think it's worth us staying around. And honestly, this place is just bad news at that point.
I didn't get to the fighting pit.
If the king is dead, we can stop at the fighting pit before
our way
we
out.
leave.
Promise.
Basically. Yeah,
I like this. I like Lena's plan.
yeah. Get to
Draven's
the
an easy
fight
man.
and then road.
Draven's easy to please. You give him a neck. You give him promises of fighting pit. People die all the time. Whatever.
They do. People are dying right now while we're talking, man.
You've got a lot of people kind of gathering close to the Hall of the King. You can kind of
is
see a
dead.
congregation of people start going inside and gathering around. There's a moment where you do think, what if? And then you hear the sound of his son's voice. Everyone gather around! My father is going to speak.
Oh,
Result?
That's good news.
People push their way to kind of get closer into the hall of the king. You can kind of see as you slip in the back. Up on the stage, you can see the prophet down by the side, the king up by his chair, and the son kind of like trying to calm people down the front. A few soldiers at the front kind of pushing people back, and others kind of shouting out over each other. And what if it comes back? What if Grendel returns? Others just kind of speaking. What are you gonna... How will he protect our families? Is the festival still to go on? And you see Hrothgar just raises his hand. Please.
Who's that?
And then brings it down. It is true what you have heard. Grendel returned last night. He brought with him many Grendelings. They followed him. All of them were killed. We have lost 4 people last night. It's not a heavy loss, but it is a loss nonetheless. Grendel did not come back to torment us as he once did. He came back to gather his trophy, our trophy, his arm. And he left into the fen, disappeared into the swamp. We have taken precaution. The gates of Gastrodnir are closed until the end of the festival in 3 days. That means that there is no leaving Hellet or its surrounding area. We have done this to prevent Grendel returning, or any of his ilk, so that you may enjoy the festival in peace. If you are worried that there are any more here, we've also brought in troops from Skagdar in the south. They are patrolling the area, especially around the north. You are safe in our halls. And when we open the gates in a few days hence, a bounty will be released upon Grendel. The greatest among you may take up arms to hunt it and kill the beast once and for all. For now, you hear some people kind of talking over. Please, for now, enjoy the many halls of Hellet. Enjoy the festival. This is a festival of peace, and we shall stick to that. Drink, fight, love, but do not worry. Thank you. And he sits back down, and you hear like the crowd start talking over. Some people kind of look a little bit hesitant. Others look satisfied by his words, but others are kind of shouting over. The guards kind of push them aside and say, back to the festival, out of here. Start clearing out the hall. You're at the back, so you kind of don't get into kind of the push and shove of it all, but they start moving people, and others kind of start filtering out to go and discuss what had happened. Only kind of guards and some other people, patrons, kind of remain behind to eat and drink and talk over kind of hushed whispers over the table, leaving you at the back of the hall. You see as people kind of filter around you. Do you stay there? You're waiting there to speak to the king, or are you going to move on?
I think we'll wait till it filters out a little more and then push forward, I guess.
Yeah.
We can always say that you know, we want, this is a private, you don't want to have anybody around for this conversation as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd see as most of the people kind of leave. Only a few remain in the hall, but none of the people causing a ruckus. And just guards. Hrothgar is kind of up there with his father, and kind of fetches him a drink and something to eat, but leaves you at the front. A couple of the guards look towards you. One of them says, "If you're to enter into the hold, please do not do so with any sense of aggression. The king is old and does not need it."
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Bows his head and kind of steps aside, allowing you to enter into the hall.
Does anybody want to speak? Have any preference to speaking, or?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. No for Willoughby?
So Willoughby is a yes then. Willoughby? It's all you.
No.
Okay, it's not all you.
No.
I mean, if Willoughby doesn't want to, I will.
I say he does it, but I'm going
Really?
to stand back here. Well, if you're talking, he's going to stand back first.
If, Draven, if I at least break the news, you can perhaps fill in the details.
Sure.
I just want to keep this as...
Let's
I'm
maybe
worried
be a
about the
bit
king's health.
neutral. Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Include any details about drinking their blood?
I mean, I haven't done that to any
But you talk about it a lot.
you all.
Yeah, that's true.
What a relief.
Everyone else that I talk to about it is usually dead later. So.
Are you going to tell him everything? Are you going to tell him
I'm going to tell
you
him...
picked up her weapon, you took her jewels?
That's
stole
the things
all
I
of her
wasn't going to
money,
mention.
And
I still think we should return the jewels, frankly. But I don't think we should tell them about spring.
No,
I think we should include
let's
that.
skip that.
For now,
My-
it's going to
Just
complicate.
the basic facts, yes?
That's going to
True
complicate
Just
any
start.
the
investigation.
poisoning.
Yes.
That we identified it, we think we know what it is, how much time that we think she has left, and that she was poisoned at some point. That's it. He knows other things about Brulder and Grendel, so. And if Draven wants to add any more admissions about his actions, Draven, you will have the floor to do so, but that is your
Juno,
choice.
that sounds like you want to talk to the king then, so I'm going
I
to
will
leave
tell
that
the
to
king
you.
the basics. I will
Yeah.
tell the king the very basic information we just agreed on. If you want to add anything afterwards, the floor is yours.
I don't like that shrug. I didn't like that.
It will be fine.
Hey,
It's going
you
to be
all
fine.
are so good at talking. I've
Eldred?
seen it.
Do you have any things that is there anything that you're concerned about us saying, or any suggestions? Suggestions?
God, you're so freaky.
No. Okay. I take your nice long silence as you're thinking about it, but nothing that comes immediately to mind.
You ever
Okay.
bathed in blood?
What kind
What?
of question?
You ever bathed in blood before?
Like a whole bath or just a sort of like a wash?
Incidental.
Yeah. Yeah, like
The
a
fact that you
spraying.
have to ask.
cleansing or a entire.
Is there a difference between a bath and a shower, I presume?
Is the answer to one of them yes?
Okay.
Colby looks over at Juno, completely baffled by how unhinged the business.
Yeah, it's like she's like making that face of like I'm just like half smiling, but like I'm just gonna keep on going because like these people have had my back so far. I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear it.
They
I'm just
seem
gonna.
nice.
They seem nice, but there's definitely that kind of like look at Willoughby and like.
Joe, I DM'd you.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
I will let you.
I
read
feel
something.
as if the more information you share, the better.
Okay.
But I'll leave that up to you. I feel like I have not become very involved in this, so I'm not
No,
too concerned for myself.
Of course, Miri, I respect your experience in some of these matters. You seem to know a lot more about these gods and your world than I do, so I just wanted to check if there was anything you wanted to add. But
I only know
appreciate
that
that
she
you are not-
sucks, but I think that's pretty common knowledge.
yes,
Very.
I understand that. And then when we have an opportunity, I guess like I'll sort of step forward with the sort of group, assuming they're coming behind me, but not checking, because they might just be like nope and step back. But yeah, Juno will kind of move to the king, and Trethic if he's there as well, because he's spoken to us quite a lot.
Yeah, you can see he's kind of helping.
We are
his
old
father
friends
sit
by now with that dude.
back some ale, and he kind of pulls down and goes, "Ah, father." Sits up and leans up. If it isn't the grinding killers.
Juno will bow in a sort of, probably Messagaian sort of like bow, because I know that's not really a thing here, but it's something she was taught to do to people she respects. Your Majesty, King Hrothgar, there is some more information we want to share with you. I want to check though, is everyone here someone you trust? And I will just, because I know there's a few guards and like, the other people around.
He looks around, and then Hrothgar goes, "You lot, clear into the drinking hall. Let them know Hrothgar sent you for one free drink, whatever you want." And you see like a group of them kind of stand up. Oh, thank you, Hrothgar. Thank you, please. And then they kind of like filter out. Guards remain. Hrothgar goes,
Yeah.
"My men are all trustworthy."
Good. We hate to lay a further burden upon an already burdened crown, Your Majesty, but we found more. Something has happened during the night. We went
Mother
to
died?
check. No, it concerns Thrud, the daughter of Thor, I believe. we went to check on her. My companion Draven specifically went to speak with her. When he found her, when she answered the door, she had been poisoned. We've examined her, and from my knowledge, I believe it to be the 8th drop. A poison spoken of in your legends and stories to kill Thor.
It's not possible. This is very hard to get hold of, I've heard.
I know the stories, Your Majesty. I am sure. I am a very learned woman from where I come, and I am confident that it is what I have read of, and I believe that we are all agreed. She is dying, I think. We have managed to give her some time, but it is not long.
How long?
It's difficult to say, maybe a day, 2 at best.
This is not good. Rethick kind of turns to you and says, do we have any idea who did it?
Not yet.
No.
Out of character, we talked about it, and didn't we surmise that it probably happened outside of the hall?
I think we talked about it because there's the confusion of the only thing she drank was from the tankard, but Brulder also drank from it and didn't die, and he should have if he was mortal. So we assumed it must have happened either before or after that, but I don't think we know.
Or he's a demigod and we don't know.
Entire perimeter of
And you couldn't find any.
Area.
Yeah,
I
and you
didn't
didn't
detect
see
any
anything.
leftover poison anywhere. So, I mean, for all we know, though, that guy could have been dying, but he got crushed by a
Got
giant
killed
ant.
before it took.
So then it was.
That dude had so much going against him that day.
We don't technically know that Thrud landed directly outside the hole. She could have walked from somewhere.
She could have done.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It was probably outside of the hole, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I won't say that's Juno, but if you want to as Draven, just like add that in. But yeah, like Juno's like, I'm afraid that we don't know anything more. She answered her door. She was sick. My companion called to the rest of us. We rushed in, and she was already in a terrible state. The poison had already begun working its way into her system. We do not know. This is beyond us, and certainly is not of importance to me. And I do not know your gods, but as king of this hall, we felt that you should at least know.
I appreciate it. Rethick turns to her god. Can you gather the wall? Bows his head and kind of walks out. Hrothgar shakes his head. That man. Must he be involved? Father, he's good at this.
Who is this man that you have called for? Dual, you said?
Oh, I don't like... Please, Father. He's an advisor, if you will. He looks into... He has the best interests of Herod in mind. He's a shifty fellow to most, but I find him rather useful. We can have him put onto the case to look into the poison.
I'll look at the companions. It's your hall, Prince and Your Majesty. I don't think all of us are interested in helping, but if there is anything I can do, please let me know, and I will offer what assistance I can. I do have one question, if you do not mind. The one thing that is not spoken of in the readings, the knowledge that I have, I know of Aethrop, I know of Jormungandr and Thor, but in many of these stories, these sort of legendary poisons, these relics, there's often a trick or a story to the cure, the ending. I'm just curious, is there a story of Aethrop's cure or how to prevent it?
Yes. The old words are hard to remember, but it is something... What is it? There is a milk, a type of milk you can drink. What is it again, my son? You listen to more of the stories than I did, Father.
What about your prophet? Would he know these older words?
Odor. Of course.
Name.
He kind of bows his head. He runs his finger across one of the twigs as it kind of grows out and says, "Beneath him the world serpent. Thor stand with broken skin. Poison pained as Loki had, remain dry his water skin. Not water, not ale, not wine will help, not medicine for the pox. Drink of life he need, one horn filled with milk from a bone-shoned aurochs." The king goes, "Ah, that is the one."
An aurochs, is that a beast? Is that some sort of creature?
It's like isn't it like a giant, like a moose deer kind of thing?
It is closer akin to cattle. It is a horned,
Got big horns, they bend up.
the bone-shelled one. It is rarer, I believe. I can share, I can see if someone might know of somewhere in the vicinity for someone to have one of those, but I doubt it.
It's a bone-shelled? You said bone-shelled aurochs?
The prophet bows his head. Bone-shelled.
Bone-shelled. Well, consider my curiosity sated. It was just something I did not know. Thank you. Odor, was it? A prophet? You did not tell us your name before.
Odor.
Ye-
You. 5 trees.
Yes.
Yes. Our
That's
prophecy.
us.
How could I forget? Lena, please.
I'm not trying to be rude. Do they just continually grow that quickly all the time?
I am trimming them more often as of late.
My friends, is there anything else that you feel I have missed in our information to provide to King Hrothgar?
No.
Then it seems that I've fulfilled what I thought. My memory has not escaped me. I'm sorry that we cannot bring more good news to you, King, but
It is sad news to hear. We cannot have a demigod dying in our halls.
No.
If you were to look into this, I would owe you a favor. And you see as the doors kind of come in, and a very skinny man, shoulders kind of tucked in slightly, walks kind of with this chin always facing down, receding hair, but he kind of tries to hide it by combing over at the front, kind of light brown, kind of a almost a graying tone to his skin. Kind of steps in, and kind of bows his head.
Your Majesties, you sent for me.
Well, our friends here have come with information that Thrud has been poisoned.
Poison. With what?
Aether drop. You see a smile come across his face.
Here?
Can we insight check that
Absolutely.
just to see what
Yeah.
is happening?
yeah, I would 100% insight this dude. He seems to be almost like he expected
15.
20.
it. 22.
Yeah.
Me and Willoughby are
Very
like,
insightful as a group.
He seems to have taken a bit of pleasure in it, by the sound of it.
okay.
Or by the looks.
But did he look genuinely surprised, like with the news?
You didn't really see much surprise. Whether it's a case of just
Okay.
always expecting the unexpected, or if it's a case of
Yeah,
you might have known
he
something.
knew something.
And so, do we know who it was, or is that why you called me?
That is why we called you. Your services won't be needed. Father, you seem kind of looks aside. If you could look into the matter, but keep things subtle. The Islot will also be doing the same, but I assume that you'll want to work alone.
I'll look into it. I'm sure I'll find who did it. Especially with the gates closed now. They can't have gone far. Okay.
And he kind of bows his head and slips out, and then stops and turns his head.
Where is the body?
In her room.
Heretic looks to two guards. Where was she staying? In one of the smaller halls, Your Majesty. 3 guards on the doors at all times. No one goes in, no one goes out.
She is still alive as far as we know.
Joel kind of looks down.
Oh. May I investigate the body?
I think if
The
she's
living
still
one.
alive, you said that you investigate her, not the body.
Yes.
Heretic kind of looks and of course. Lead him. And looks to the 3 guards and kind of they just walk off with Dwell.
Who is that?
Getting up. A nuisance. A cowardly man. He stands to his feet.
Oh.
And Arthur goes, He's not a fighting man, but he's clever. Those are few and far between in drunken halls.
Oh, that's true.
What was his name?
Dual.
DWOL. Dual.
Dual.
I should retire to my room. I've found myself needing more sleep as the years go by.
Understandable, Your Majesty. Thank you once again for opening your hall and also the kind words that you have given us as travelers with bad news. I am truly blessed to have seen Herod with my own eyes. Thank you.
This is why I allow Mesogynes into the hall. He clasped his son on the shoulder. So polite, so full of manners. And he kind of just glares towards Eldred and Lena for a moment. Not a kind word. And kind of gets up, and his son helps him down the stairs after like the side room. This heretic comes by again, kind of folds his arms. Seems misfortune follows you. Well, let us hope it just follows you and not us all. Well, if you
Okay.
need anything, I'll be standing in place of my father for now. Whilst he rests.
Thank you. I think like we do all that, like we all walk away, and then as soon as we're out of my shot, everyone's like looking at each other like.
Happened about as well as I think it could have.
When absolutely terrible, you know he's going to go kill her, right?
Well,
certainly
Wonderful.
that would,
So we won't
that
be
blamed
would
for
not
it.
be officially our problem anymore if they were murdered
Exactly.
by him.
Can he get in if they? It is on the door.
I imagine even if they have a few guards with them, they'll be able to bash the door down. Yes, it was Draven could wield it, and he's clearly very strong. But
What the hells is wrong with all of you?
What?
This removed notion of life and death for someone who, I assume, whether you have an opinion or not, has not harmed you directly and was poisoned in a cowardly manner.
It is Thor's daughter.
She is not her father.
She's close enough.
She's pretty damn close.
Raven, don't get me wrong. I do care, but
Juno, I'm a little upset with you because there was no reason to tell him I was the first one to go there by myself.
You just sound like a concerned citizen. It's fine.
yes, I did not feel that it would. I did not feel that it would look badly on you, my friend. It
I'm
was the
not,
truth.
but this is not our land, Juno, so it does not look. Truth is subjective in the homes of others.
If I felt that I did not feel that it would implicate you in anything, us coming to speak with them, we would not be so foolish if you had been involved. I do not think that it would. I understand the concern. I am sorry.
The problem is, I went there and found her. So if they ask what my intention was going there, that is what becomes a problem.
You just say she's a fine-looking woman and you wanted to get to know her better.
I'm not going to say I wanted to fuck Tor's daughter.
Why not?
Draven,
Why not?
I am sorry.
Why is that weird?
Please accept my apology. I did not mean to. I was naive, if you wish to think. But I do not think that it will come to that. And if it does, I will be at your side to protect you. I'm going to pretend that Lena did not talk about fucking Thrud. I'm just going to continue.
I don't know why that's that weird.
Well, I find sex weird in general, with demigods or not, but fair.
Apparently she's terrible, so that's...
You
Also-
didn't know she was terrible. Also, you still think that she's fine. So, also, sometimes people have sex with people they don't really like that much. That happens like a lot.
I hate this place so much.
It's not
Draven,
that-
if you wish to go and watch over
I
this
just shake
Duar,
my head and look at Eldred like, I don't.
I will come with you. I do not trust the man either. I don't think they will not. I think they take pleasure in this, but I don't know. It's too obvious.
No, he's
Maybe I'm
weird.
overthinking
If you would
it.
like to go check before we go
Yes.
do the rest of our stuff, then we
Yes.
go check. It's fine.
Yes. And
We
as a
can
point
go
of
check.
note, I don't care about Thrud because she is a half god. I care about her because she is a half mortal. Maybe she is terrible. Maybe she is the worst, a bully and a tyrant. But I have to believe that that mortal half of her can still choose to change. That is why I care. Not because of the
I think
gods.
that's very sweet.
It's idealistic, I know. But it is my belief.
No, I don't.
And this is
mean
what I
it.
will follow.
I think it is sweet.
Thank you, Lane.
Let's go check on her.
Thank you.
For all of your sakes, I hope she's not dead. I just roll my eyes and turn towards whatever direction her room is.
Yeah, you're heading back towards her room. You'd see outside the guards are kind of helping, just like, they're like pulling at the door a little bit, and kind of dwells like pacing back and forth a little bit impatiently.
Come on. Get it open then.
We're trying. It's just a little jammed. You seem kind of pushing. Oops, there's something is blocking on the other side. They see you kind of arriving. Door looks around, goes,
Maybe I was wrong.
Ah,
Hello.
I'm sure you heard the prince. I'll work alone.
We did. It's just that, we found her and we made sure that
She's
no one
not a coin.
could get in. So we can help you with that if you need.
Did you?
Also, perhaps you did not hear, we are conducting our own investigation as well.
Oh.
It's just coincidence, I suppose.
There'll be no need. I'll do it myself.
Okay. Do you want help with the door?
I believe this. The man said he would do it himself. Is that
Well,
why
seems
did
like
I
we're
mishear?
done here.
Open the door.
Why do you smile at suffering?
I smile because it is exciting to be a part of what could one day be a feeble.
But if it's your suffering,
If it is written down and sung by the skulls, then it is a good suffering.
Just gonna lean against the wall. I'm not helping this guy open the door.
Yeah. I got my coin out.
He looks towards the guards. Push harder. You see they kind of slam into it their shoulder. And some people are walking by and kind of looking.
Nothing to see.
Well,
oh my god, I'm gonna help. I hate this. If she's gonna die, I'm gonna just let her die. I'm gonna try to help the guards. Fuck it. Thor's daughter dies.
It's gonna go us for being apathetic.
Yep. Nope.
Yep. I'm done.
Draven is impatient. Everybody wants her dead. He's like, fine, let's let her die. See what happens. That is so what
Athletics
would you like
check.
me to do, Joe? Athletics?
Yes, please.
Gladly. 25.
Ooh.
You just go up. How do you want to open it?
Trying to kick the door as hard as he can, but more towards the hinges, so it like breaks inwards, and the hammer probably falls and hopefully hits Dwal in his bitch face.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
He is
Yeah.
standing far back, but the guards
God
kind of
damn it.
get knocked back a little bit, but the door splinters open. The hammer slams to the ground. kind of ricocheting. You hear it kind of hits one of the planks. It kind of buckles slightly in, but the door opens slightly for you to come in.
The door's open. Get to work.
Appreciate it.
Well, kind of slips in through.
Oh, wow.
Straight after this dude. I'm going to stick to him like glue.
His eyes kind of onto you, and then he goes over towards her. And he looks across her. Places his head down against her chest.
Oh. Still hot in there? I did not know.
As we said.
No, but I did not know if a demigod had a heart or not. In truth, I do not know what the inside of a god looks like.
Kind of just like runs his hand across her arm.
Interesting to see what would be inside, no?
And he kind of opens her mouth. And then pushes his nose into her mouth.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to keep a close eye on this dude in case he's doing anything mega weird.
Go ahead and do a general just
weird
kind
check.
of rather perception or investigation. It's up to you. Kind of if you're looking for something shifty, investigation. Perception is.
You know, like, I'm just watching, like, his hands, like, you know, if he's sniffing the mouth, that's fine, but, like, if his hands are, like, trying to, like, sleight of hand magician Las Vegas shit I want to try and beat on him.
You said those plates were forming
18.
near, like, her shoulder, right?
Yeah, they got a 12 insight.
They're all
Will
across
be.
her neck and around her chest and her shoulders. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Yep. Now continue.
He pushes his nose in, and as he starts pulling back, she snaps her teeth shut and like catches the tip of his nose, and you just see blood start pouring. And, and he reaches into his pocket, gets a little bandage, and wraps it around his whole head.
Still alive.
Indeed.
And then he.
I'm going to make one incision.
Why?
I want to see if her blood is coagulating or if it has the poison inside of it still.
You do not need to. The poison is still present. What would an incision tell you that you cannot already tell?
I'd like to taste it.
That is the concern. Are you here to investigate, or are you here to satisfy your own morbid
Looks
curiosity?
over at Draven.
No. Hold on. Let him do this. Let's see what happens. This is important
interested.
testing.
How do you
Fascinations.
I'm very interested in this. How do you test the blood? When you get it out, what do you do?
Well, it depends on how it reacts to oxygen. You tell him.
I taste it.
Oh, then you should definitely. And then I just stop.
Well, yeah, I'll just...
Okay, they're being facetious and not to... If it's in her blood and you taste it, won't you die?
Aether drop loses most of its potency. In fact, the vast majority of its potency is gone by now. Now it is just... the blood is turning dark and cursed.
How
So
long does it take for it to lose its potency?
Oh, practically the moment it hits your stomach. But afterwards, you still have poison in your veins. Just less. More the
But
kind
if you
will
know
leave you
this,
sick.
why do you need it then? You know, if you know what is happening.
I have never seen Aether drop being used. I've made it red.
It does have to be consumed.
Yes, ingested.
Well,
Carry on then.
Yeah.
That
Going to
needle.
wet you.
May I? He presses against her skin, and the needle breaks.
Oh,
Huh.
He pulls out a longer one, presses it, and it just won't break the skin.
I don't think she's going to let you.
she.
He pulls her arm up and he pushes it hard against it, but it just kind of clinks off. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
How do I get to her blood? Could one of you cut her?
It's interesting because it seems like you're supposed to figure out who did it, how to help her, but
Yes.
you already know what's going on with her blood, and you're going to waste time
This
trying
is why
to
I don't like
get
working
it
with
out.
others. You should investigate yourself.
Do you think her gums would be softer?
I look at Eldred and nod, like that was, yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Ah,
Kind of opens her mouth slightly. This time, very hesitantly lifts the gum, and then pricks the inside, pushes a little hard, and pulls out. And there's a single bit of blood. It's on his tongue.
Watches intently.
Yes, it's there.
Kind of clutches his chest, and then just throws up onto the ground.
Oh.
You see, kind of splatter across the floor.
Ugh. Good. That is a Thrud drop, if I have read correctly.
He leans down, kind of runs his fingers through the sick from and goes,
Yes. Yes.
you can see it's kind of miscolored a little bit. Kind of, it's turning almost grey.
That is it. Would not do well to sit in your stomach for long, that.
Oh, great job.
Pushes to his feet.
I've done my investigation. Choose yours now.
The plates, have they progressed anymore, or does it, does it look like we did slow it down like we thought?
You want a medicine check?
Okay.
Get an idea of just kind of the general, see if it's.
17. Man, I'm rolling okay.
Yeah,
As soon as
you're very
combat
well.
hits, I'm turd, but
I feel that.
They've definitely slowed down. You might see like one extra smaller plate or one starting to form, but it looks like you really slowed it down. You bought yourself some time.
Dual, you seem to have a great knowledge of Aether-Drop. Clearly a learned man, like myself. I'm also quite a learned person, but you said that Aether-Drop must be ingested. Yes, that is the way the poison is delivered. In the story, Thor drinks it. That is what makes sense.
In the story, Thor is bitten
Ah,
by Jormungandr. So it
I
can
see.
be inflicted via that. But Jormungandr has a special requirement. When his teeth go inside and the venom is going inside, it immediately interacts. When extracted, the moment you try to put it into any device to push it in, it is not as effective. It might cause the arm to rot off, it might cause the leg or wherever you put it, but ingested allows it to go all the way down and kill you from the inside. It is more effective.
how long do you think it would take if someone were to drink it and then it would... How long before its effects hit?
A person or a demigod?
Both.
If
We're
it is
talking
through the
about
throat,
Thrud?
then Thrud.
Kind of lifts her arm, looks at her.
2 days? 1 day? It depends on how strong she is. In the
So
story,
when she ingests it, it would take 1 or 2 days for the effects to show?
no. It could be as quick as an hour, as slow as 10. But her passing out and dying and whatnot, probably that is closer to a day. In the story, Thor is bitten by Jormungandr and survives for a little while before dying. At least a day. And in that time, he has taken in more poison than 1,000 Aether-Drip. So,
Dual.
yes.
Was Bruder Thrud, is he mortal or a demigod?
I assume he's mortal.
We saw him
I-
drink from something we would have thought would be the same. Or would that affect a mortal immediately? Yes.
If you would drink Aether-Drop and you're a mortal, you would probably die. Instantly.
Instantly.
Yes.
What if you were already dead?
Probably not then. You'd live. Or die. You wouldn't die, but you would.
Still not live.
Yeah.
Would Aether-Drop
somebody-
affect something of animated variety, for example?
And if it was put into what, sorry?
Dead creature.
Yes. If it went into a dead creature, it would probably just fade away. It needs the
What
blood
if
to pump.
somebody was highly resistant to a poison. Is Aether Drop special? Would it, if somebody had a natural immunity or a resistance to a poison, would you think that would do anything?
Some bodies might be able to handle it. I know not of many, but it is possible. All things are.
Such a learned man. I only have one more question, but Draven, please.
Well,
Yeah.
will you taste this? And I am going to grab the cloth that I had of Bruder's clothing that had some of his blood on it to see if Dwal can taste any Aether Drop on that.
He takes it. He pushes it against his mouth.
Tastes like cotton.
It tastes very very.
Oh, shit.
And then pukes up again. This
So
time it's a little kind of same grey. This time a little bit more of a, like a kind of a hacking kind of motion.
I do not want to do that again.
Just keep giving it to him.
That's
Okay,
a
question.
very important detail. Good thinking, Gabe.
Yes.
When Willoughby, Tomato, when you went to go like look around to see if you saw any poison, did you go to like the hall and like check out the
big
thing that
tankard.
they were drinking from?
I established with Joe. It's a radius around me.
Okay.
I walked everywhere.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Okay, so you didn't see anything in there.
No, I
Then,
didn't detect
yeah.
any poison left over anywhere in the entire hall.
Okay.
But I
you-
think Thulda drank the whole thing. I remember, like, was that the case? Like, she drank every drop, or was
Yep.
yeah? Sorry, Chrissy, you want to?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I guess, would you have seen anything, like, if you were walking around and you had to detect poison up, and Draven had the scrap of Bruder's blood on a cloth, like, would that have pinged anything?
Oh, that's a
Like,
good
oh, there's
question, yeah.
poison, like residue or whatever.
If it's in
Do you know
blood,
what I mean?
yes. If it's in blood. But in a container, Aether Drop, no.
Okay, so it wouldn't have really told us anything, just that he had been poisoned, yeah,
Okay.
or that he had, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I have one more question for Duval. Such a source of knowledge that you are. You can taste Aether Drop. You seem to recognize it by taste, yes?
Yes, I've read many descriptions.
But would anybody, let's say, Thrud, who does not seem to be the smartest, most learned individual, would they taste anything different? Is it odorless,
Oh.
tasteless?
It is tasteless until it starts to
Yes. React.
react. Yes.
Interesting. Thank you.
Well,
So helpful.
good luck in your investigation, but hopefully my information would give you some insight. But I think that I'll be done with it by 2 days.
A race.
Carry on.
Alright.
Good luck. And he slips out the door.
I was hoping we could leave before him.
You want to leave? You wanted to leave before him, as in leave him?
Yes, with her.
Oh,
It's fine.
I see. I see.
Okay, that was unpleasant.
He is odd and gross, but I don't know.
So, okay, Bruder took it as well. That doesn't
So it
help us
must
yet.
Must have been the
Must have been
flagon.
tankard.
Yeah.
They both drank from it. It's the only thing I saw them consume.
So,
We
who
heard
had
thunder.
access? Who brought it in? Who had access to it? Who filled it? Etc. It's in the
More
middle of
clues.
the room. Anybody could have. How? It was legit in the middle of the room, right, Joe? Like anybody could walk past it, walk by
Yeah.
it, like
Although you had to go
chuck something
upstairs
in
to
it.
get up
with
it.
that.
Yeah. Like it was
Okay,
up,
that's
it was
right.
like it was a tool
Yeah,
code.
yeah. So people would have. You would have seen if someone was walking up to it, but if it was somebody who looked like they were supposed to be there, it wouldn't have like
Yeah.
been on anyone's radar. They just would have been like, "Oh, okay, it's
Also, when
Jim
we
going to refill
arrived,
it or whatever."
it was already filled when we arrived, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
bubbling. It was like being heated,
Yeah.
waiting for somebody. So,
Okay.
Willoughby, my apologies. I know that you are more the investigator. I got carried away with my questions. I'm sorry.
It's fine, of course.
Okay.
I don't. We could go and speak to this spring. We could look into this tankard and find out who had access to it, etc. But
I'm curious about the Auroch as well.
the Auroch, yes. The king mentioned that there might be somebody who knows of one nearby or might have access to it or something.
Well, I could certainly, if there's one nearby, I can find that without asking someone about it.
And you? Do you have like Auroch sense?
In a way.
Nice.
Above board, I can use locate animals or plants, which is a 5-mile radius
Fuck yeah,
around in
dude.
every direction, which at least if we knew it was naturally something that existed in this
Right.
area,
It's northeast.
I'd be able to triangulate its position.
Okay.
Eldred, can we speak? Just if you do not want to speak with everyone, I understand, but
No, of course.
you clearly. Do you want Thrud dead, or do you just not care what happens to her?
It's if this is the scale, and this is her being dead, this is her being alive. I'm like here.
Okay.
I'm like
My
a
head
little
slightly
closer
more
to
towards
her.
dead, like
She
I
might
just-
be a little further than I am.
Okay. My apologies, Lena. I did not realize
that's
you seem
fine.
to be more okay with us stopping her potential
I
death.
honestly, I'm okay with whatever happens. It's going to happen one way or the other, right? She's going to live. She's going to die. I can
We may be
try
the
to
ones who make
stop
that
it.
difference.
That
Yes,
is
that's-
fine. I don't have any love for her. I have less than zero love for Thor himself.
I understand.
Honestly, also, no offense to you, to Draven, Willoughby, you seem like maybe you don't care as much, but people are going to live, people are going to die, and I have seen a lot of both. And I think that for my own self, I try not to get involved. Yeah? But
I
we can
understand.
see what happens. If it goes terrible, I will leave. It's simple.
I guess it is more because if Willoughby, if you can find this beast, there is a real chance that we might be able to stop the poison and save her life. But I appreciate that that is not what you wish to do, and I would love to know why, so I can understand. Even if I do not agree with it, I would like to understand, but I know that is a very deeply, probably likely very personal why. But I feel that this is
Maybe-
a decision point we need to decide on. We might be able to stop her, but if two of you do not wish to, I'm not going to force you.
It is more for me that. Willoughby, what did you say the other day? What did you say yesterday? You said if Thor was on the ground,
Yes,
like
I
dying, you would
would-
kick.
I would kick sand in his face
Absolutely.
rather than help him back up.
Exactly.
Yes, I would laugh.
So, if there were sand in this room right now, I would kick it in her face. There's no sand, so maybe I will help. If you want to help, I'll help.
And
I
if
reserve
she
the right
wants,
to
if
find
she's
sand
all
and-
right with helping, I am absolutely am.
Kick it later, I guess. My quarrel is not completely with her.
I think like when you say that, Juno's kind of like nodding and it's like, I don't know your story, but yes, that is certainly how I would see it. That whatever issue you have with him, maybe she's horrible. I don't know, but right now I feel like we could maybe help.
Yes.
What if? Oh, I'm gonna look at everyone else. What if we save her? Willoughby finds the Aurochs. We milk it. Also, I don't want to milk What do children do? 1, 2, 3, not it for the milking of the
Nose
aurochs.
goes.
Exactly. No, I will not milk the. Okay,
This
let's
isn't fair.
establish
This
that.
game is playing.
And then
We need an alternative. We need
Okay.
like a touch hands or something for
Okay.
Willoughby. Do you have hands, Willoughby? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that was very insensitive.
Looks at the roots that kind of make up his hands.
Toes
Like
go?
sort of shrugs.
milking aside,
Yes.
Eldred. I'm gonna put my hand on her arm.
Mm,
What if she wakes up and she's fine, and then she tells her father, "Oh, they saved me. Oh, look, they saved me." That could be good.
uh-huh.
We can help.
Okay, good.
Let's go
I do
milk an
like-
aurochs, but not me.
Anything to keep a soul from hell, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Think
and
of it that way. If that helps,
Exactly.
I take a win where I can find a win. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Willoughby may be able to find this thing, maybe not. But I wanted to have that conversation before it became a bigger thing that we needed to talk about. But so Willoughby, you think you can find this creature if it's nearby?
Relatively nearby, but I don't even know if this kind of auroch is native to this area.
Joe, is that something I would know? I've been around a long time.
Go ahead and roll a. It's gonna be a religion check because it's very much in line with the
gods and
gods.
myth and
Yeah.
If it's a religion check, and I'm thinking real hard, and then I am going to Dragon Constellation before I do it to force my own hand. If I'm thinking real hard, I may even simultaneously guidance myself
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
to try to powerfully think as hard as I can through hundreds
Well,
of
you know, you're
years of
using guidance to
backlogged knowledge.
use your godly knowledge. That makes sense. Sure. Go for it.
All
Slap
right.
yourself with the biggest thing you can.
Here we go. Religion check.
Believe in you.
That's a nat 20.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
Plus 1.
didn't even need the dragon form.
Plus a nat 1.
Yeah, you would know that though you know this, if you've heard of the creature before, it is a monstrosity, not a beast, because you need a monster to cure a monster. In this regard, maybe it's just come back to you. You didn't really know how would you cure this drop. And then you remember yourself hearing about how Thor, when he first heard it, made sure that across Midgard, there was many farmers or cattle raisers that would have these bone-shelled aurochs raising. So that no matter where his fight with Jormungandr happens, he'd always be close by to the cure. So they are, you probably wouldn't know where, because who keeps track of that? But you know that there's definitely going to be a lot of people who raise them, because Thor required it.
Okay. And I also then, at that point, recollecting this, know that this does not fall under a beast. This is
Yes, this is
something
a
else entirely.
monstrosity.
Okay. Then I won't be able to locate it the same way.
Do I know what bone shelled means?
It. Do you know what? Yeah, because of your kind of background. Yeah, it refers to the fact that they have kind of almost like an ivory-like bone exterior. That's kind of an outer shell armor over their body. So imagine like a cow with an extra kind of like bone layer on the outside.
Cow armor.
Looks almost like it's wearing
Fucking
armor.
cool.
Just color wise.
No. It's an actual
Or
outer
literally.
shell. It grows out almost like nails or out like horns. It's kind of
Whoa.
wraps around it to give it an outer shell.
Seems uncomfortable and also cool.
Okay. And that's normal or
No, it's
rare
very rare.
occurrence?
It's a rare
Okay.
version
It's
of
like
the
a
orc.
mutation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mutation. Okay.
Okay.
Willoughby, do you think you can use your senses to specifically find a bone-shelled auroch? A kind with a hard sort of bony exoskeleton type?
Hard, crunchy shell.
I have a lot of knowledge from many years of being of this plane, and after recollecting that said knowledge, I am realizing I may have jumped the gun a little bit in explaining that I could simply detect where one is. However, I do still believe I could find one relatively easily. They are around. Thor made that very
They're
certain.
everywhere, right? So we just find the one. Inside the gates, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There must be farms and things nearby. I mean, Herod
Yeah.
there's farms for harvesting the materials they need for mead and food.
Okay.
Well, you know who might know something like that is the exact same person we already need to meet
Yeah.
anyways.
I think so.
And
An
I flip my
information
coin
broker.
out. Yeah. Let's go.
Draven,
Get some information.
how are you feeling about all of this?
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily trust any of you, to be fully honest. But,
You kidding me?
look, I am very upfront.
Willoughby just
about
said, like-
everything.
here from Yggdrasil itself.
You watch like Willoughby's head just kind of like come down, like he's just like so saddened. Like what?
It means nothing to me. I'm not from this land. All you have told me is the name of a tree that gives life. All trees give life, you idiot. They're called acorns. So I don't know anything about your history if you don't explain it.
It's like the
Right.
trees of
I want to
gold.
remind you, as you're yelling at him, he is glowing so bright that it's almost blinding for you because of all the magic from his tree of life that gives him power. He's just kind of slowly tilting his head as you say the most insane thing to him.
Why are you, what is it?
You know, you don't have to trust people right away, right? This is kind of the fun of it, is we don't know, but we'll figure it out along the way. What's the worst
Right.
that happens?
We're not
I'm not
taking
going
a
to
risk
kill
being
you.
in each other's presence.
No, are you going to kill Juno? Are you going to kill me?
No, heavens no.
Okay,
By the-
that's good. I'm not going to kill you either.
Okay, great.
Raven, I'm not going to kill you. Willoughby, I won't kill you. Eldred, you already know I won't kill you.
These are weird reassurances.
More than that, I'm going to do everything in my power to keep you all alive.
Yeah, you did yesterday. It's fine.
Yes, you even mentioned that hell having one less soul would be a good thing. That seems to be.
Oh, yes.
I'm not going to dig in, but that seems to be a recurring thing that you seem to be keen on. So,
Oh, yes, she deserves none of them.
okay.
Right.
More things to dig in later. We'll get to that. Draven, what do you want to do? You don't trust. I understand. I've let you down. You don't know these people. I understand. But what do you want to do?
See this through.
Okay. And you want to help Thrud? You want to save her from the poison?
That doesn't matter. I solely want to see it through. There's a lot of weird ulterior motives as to why she should or should not live. And
Maybe I don't know about everyone else. My only motive is I want to help her because I think she deserves a chance to live. Okay, I want you to believe me when I say that. I promise.
it's
It's a good
fine.
reason.
I believe all of your reasons. It's just I am curious to see how this follows through.
Okay.
So am I.
Then shall we go and speak with Spring? We can find out what she was looking into and maybe see if she knows of this Orok that we can then go try and chase down before that creepy the creepy man does any more harm anywhere.
Do you know he just left that vomit on the ground? That's really gross. Somebody
2
should.
whole pools of it.
Yeah, don't step in it.
Good that his DNA is at the scene of the crime more than just ours. I don't know what DNA is.
Killed her. It must have been this person who threw up twice. Who was it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
Yeah, I
a
was trying to think
fantasy
about that, yeah.
acronym of DNA, like divine.
Hold on, let me use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
divine. Yeah.
I'm gonna use detect DNA on this.
Aspects.
Divine natural
Pool of vomit.
arcana.
Yeah. Divine natural arcana. That's actually really good.
It's really good.
It's the makeup of every living thing is their divine natural arcana. Great.
All right. So you're heading to the Hall of Spoken Coin.
Hold on. I'm gonna mend the door again.
Yeah. Fair.
Do we seal it the way it was sealed before?
Ah, Shit. Do you want to put the hammer in front of the door again, Draven, so nobody else can go in?
No, I don't care. Fuck it. If she dies, she dies.
Man,
Mend it upside down.
Now I feel bad. What if I...
you changed over the last 20 minutes or so.
I had a list.
as he walks on.
I had a list in my head, and depending on which side got checked first,
Like a
I
shopping?
decided what. No, like a list of moral choices.
Oh. I do lists like, I will do this first, then this second. You know, I keep a running list in my head to make sure I get everything done.
Don't just
Not so much
remember.
from moral. Well, it's like a long list of, don't forget to do this. You should do this first. Sometimes I get a little intense. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to assume get revenge on Thor is somewhere on that list, but
Oh, it's kind of every 5,
okay.
just so I don't forget.
So plausible deniability thing is really not our style, is it?
Let's embrace the situation and move forward.
You said I changed, Willoughby. I changed.
At the end of the day, I can't get in much more trouble than I already always am. with
Again,
these
we
people,
can just
so-
leave if it goes bad. It's fine. Let's go find Spring.
Trying. We're trying. Let's go.
The way Draven is going to ask Willoughby what Yggdrasil even is, because he genuinely has no clue and no one has told him. You said you came from the World Tree, and he was like,
Okay.
Okay.
cool.
I walked by like 8 trees on the way in, dude.
Which one?
Not that cool. Yeah.
Well,
He's confused why
World
people
Tree
cared about like a
and-
poison tree.
Joe, just so I don't like
Mm-hmm.
override your actual lore for Yggdrasil if you've changed anything, we will smash cut to you explaining the tree.
Willoughby's
on my
mouth
behalf.
opens.
Yeah.
And Joe's voice
Yeah.
comes out.
Tomato, you have to
Well,
lip
you
sync
can
this whole
see
bit.
that. Yggdrasil is known as the World Tree. It is a tree that holds all of the realms together on in Midgard. Midgard is the material plane of this. It is essentially a massive tree located at its base in Asgard, or it's at least the kind of the thickest portion of its trunk is in Asgard, but its roots spread to all of the 9 realms. To be from Yggdrasil is to be your equivalent would be Atlas, who upon Atlas's body in Mesogaia, all of the realms hang. Here it is a great tree, one which roots span every single realm, and you can travel between the roots to get to each of the realms.
Does that summarize it for you?
That was really well spoken, Willoughby.
I know I've had to rehearse that many times.
A significantly bigger deal, and it's poison, so if it dies, doesn't that mean all connections to the 9 realms are fractured?
Oh, yes. If it died, that would be very bad.
Bad.
Like, if you think Thrud dying of poison is bad, that's nothing compared to Yggdrasil dying of poison bad.
Doesn't that also make it so that connections to realms of the hells or above are also fractured, and things that are locked away could also get out?
Well, the way I've always interpreted it, there's a lot of who knows as a result of Yggdrasil always having kind of been around, but I would assume my interpretation is that it would be a sort of planar severing. All of the various planes of this realm would be completely cut off from one another the moment Yggdrasil dies, which would be bad.
And we
Who
go
knows
to
what else
better
might
one
happen.
first.
Doesn't that also make you a manifestation of 9 realms in one entity?
Oh.
Or are you a piece from one?
Well, I was born here when I was a human, but I was born at one of the lowest points of the tree in Asgard when I emerged in this form. I don't consider myself a being of every plane, per se.
Sorry I compared you to an acorn.
It's okay, I'm mostly made out of wood.
Why do you glow like that?
Magic.
Yes, I saw
He
you.
like gently
He's
nods.
not wrong.
It's his DNA.
Yes, it's divine
That is
natural
magic,
arcana.
yeah.
DNA. Just built like this.
Built like this. Built magic tough.
You turn it down.
Oh, well,
It's
over,
really
the course
nice.
of, over the course of 10 minutes while he's been glowing, because thinking about it, yeah, that's about that amount of time. He'd be slowly dimming as time goes on anyways, from like the main central spot in his chest.
That's all I got.
I find when I focus on this core inside of me, I become a little bit more adept at certain things. So when I'm glowing, it just means I'm focusing a little bit more.
I just make this face. If I'm focusing.
Were you? I saw you when we were battling the Grenlings, Willoughby. You used a bow. Were you an archer in your previous life? Do you have many memories of that time?
I have the complete memories of my life. I was more of a traveler and explorer than an archer or fighter, but I mean, no one travels out here without having some way to defend themselves, and mine was a bow. Then, sometimes when I feel I need to defend myself, a bow simply manifests.
Oh, how interesting. And the others like you, do they manifest different things depending? Like maybe that's a part of you that still is called upon.
They certainly do manifest some things, but I've never seen any of them. I haven't seen many of them, at least, actually in combat. Not many people fighting at the base of the world tree.
That's true. You did say you were sort of a guardian once. You were like a keeping watch.
Nothing happens until something happens.
Something
And the
happens.
worst possible thing ever, yeah. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Whilst you're talking, you've slowly arrived, weaving down to one of the lowest halls in the entirety of Herod, built into the actual hill itself. So no windows kind of shining, fake lights, dancing lights kind of set up all around the area that just kind of glow and try and keep this kind of warm temperature. Entering into the Hall of Spoken Coin, you would see that several tables are laid out, but it's almost done in like almost an interview fashion. People are having secret conversations in all these different ones. Guards and mercenaries stand beside each one. You see some groups of like small groups of mercenaries, like 4 or 5 people in armor, and others come over. Merchants kind of paying across coin or coin they own. The room's actually divided in half. In the center, there's a doorway that leads through to another section. Well, it's probably actually 25% at the end of the hall. And there's a couple of bouncers there. They're not guards that you would see usually around the town. It's more kind of actual mercenary guards, a little bit kind of clad and studded leather and just thrown on any gear that can protect. They block a drape that kind of flows down over it, but you can hear more sounds and talking coming from the far end of the hall. On this hall, though, it's mostly just people doing deals and talking to one another and passing across coin. No waiters.
Do we see any women dressed in green?
You do not.
I assume we're going to have to exchange the pass phrase before we're going to be talking with him.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
significant.
I was just remembering what that was.
It was
Wonderful.
stormy weather.
Stormy weather,
Yes.
indeed.
Perfect.
Just
Let's
yell
go.
it in the room and see what happens. We
Just
could
yell
walk
it
up to
right
those
now.
Guards
sure if we-
over there and try it with them.
I think we just, go up and
Okay, we
to
can
someone who
do
looks like they
that.
work here and say.
So you can approach any of the tables, or you can approach the bouncers over towards the middle section. It's up to you.
Let's try to go beyond that drape.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So before we do this, do we want to establish against someone that's actually going to do the talking for us?
I mean,
I
I
did it
can
once
if
today.
you wish.
We don't want to just wing it. We can just wing it. Hey, we're here to talk. We heard
We
you
have
know a
nothing
lot about a
special
lot.
to say. All we are saying is the pass code to see if that's
Yeah.
enough, and then we go in.
Well, I only ask because I can certainly help you if I know who's actually doing the talking.
Got it.
But if I don't know, then it's a little bit harder.
I got very lucky talking to the king. I'm not much of a public speaker. I'm more of a thinker, but so I think somebody else should do it this time.
I think you did really well. Don't sell yourself short.
You know, speaking to royalty, you just be polite and subservient, and they listen. But I think this individual we need somewhat of charm and wit and that sort of skill. And I look at Draven and Lena.
Huh? You talk.
You think I am of charm and wit?
Do
I think you're really charming.
you also give off the greatest essence of wanting Ord and his daughter dead? So Spring might sense that genuine aggression and treat you as a comrade in arms.
Sure.
Look, you seem scary as all hells, and to be honest, if someone says, "Hey, how do you feel about Tord?" you'd be like, "Ah!" So I think it works in our favor.
All right. I'll start walking towards the drapes.
As you, if we are doing that, as you approach, Wilby is going to cast Enhance ability on you for charisma.
Oh, I stand up a little straighter, less creepy.
Don't try to rein in the creepy just a tiny bit though. And he's also
What did you do, and why does she
You
look
look
so
good.
good?
You're going to do great. I just pat her on the arm.
You just
Thank
get
you.
So now you have advantage on charisma checks, and you have guidance for 1d4 to add to them.
Can you do both? Is there any concentration?
Actually, I don't think guidance. If guidance is concentration, then I don't do it. Let me check.
Guidance is.
Guidance is then I only do. So you have advantage on charisma, but that lasts forever until I drop concentration.
I'll walk up to the guards and just quietly say to them, my friends and I are looking for some shelter from the stormy weather, if we could come through.
Looks to the other guy. It's clear skies. Have you got
lean
business
back.
in the other quarters?
Yes, a meeting.
Who are you meeting?
This spring?
Oh, go on in then.
Okay.
Nod my head at the
Nod
guard.
into the curtain.
When you go into this section, you notice it's a split off portion of the hall where less people are. Kind of it's still got probably the same amount of people, but a little bit tighter in like small kind of groups and clusters. The merchants here look a little richer. The guards look a little tougher. It's kind of the back section which they're kind of people are playing kind of dice and it's higher stakes games. You can hear kind of hushed tones. Over to the left, though, you do see a side room, and in front of it, a kind of a taller bouncer with his arms kind of leaning back, and a door with a kind of just a little eye hole in it. But he's leaning on the outside of it, arms folded, watching the crowd. And above the door, you notice a single flower just kind of drawn into the actual doorway. It looks like it's recently etched in.
Oh no, that one is taller than the others.
I think
It's okay. Second verse the same as the first. You'll be fine.
I walk up.
Say the exact same thing you did. It was really cool.
Good morning.
Yeah.
We are looking for shelter from stormy weather.
Well, we do have some umbrellas for sale in here. And he knocks on the door. The eye open. And close it. You hear that kind of unchaining. And the door opens. And a smaller man kind of looks at it. Come on in.
Do we recognize the flower? Is it just like a generic flower? Or is
It's
it
a very
look
kind of
like it's-
generic, just kind of etched in drawing, just to kind of symbolize. It's
Got it.
like a sunflower kind of symbol.
Let's bring my friends in.
Yeah, let's walk in.
This is horrifying.
I'll go
The
in.
actual room itself is dark.
Last.
Kind of a hallway goes down into a darker room at the end. Poorly lit, candle lit, kind of, because it's all underground. The ceiling's a little tight, which you can see why the bouncer's on the outside. So it's definitely a little shorter down here. But it gets broader, almost this like dome circular room at the end of the hall. The small land kind of points you down there. The actual room at the far end of the hall has a single table in the middle. On the table are a variety of kind of quills and writing utensils. The desk kind of comes forward. Like there's like a cloth on the front closest to you, but behind the desk, there's a few more kind of things and like boxes sticking out and whatnot. The actual room itself is candelabras kind of light up on the side, but it is very much a kind of undecorated room. It has a small hatch doorway just behind what you can see sitting behind the desk. A broad, hulking kind of man. He's got this kind of a deep brown skin, very kind of gorgeous golden eyes, bald across the head, but mutton chops that come out and almost spread out at the bottom of his chin. Huge hands kind of the size of your heads, folded across the table and leaning kind of back into the chair. A little bit too big for the chair he sits in. He kind of masks it. You don't even see it. But he's clearly sitting down. He gestures for you to come forward.
There are no women in here?
No.
We come forward. I come forward.
I'll move up with Eldred.
Leans his hands under the table. Puts out this gold, beautifully like ornate box. Flips it open. And you see, across two kind of sets of them, a series of tongues. He takes one tongue out, opens his mouth, and you see there's no tongue inside. Pushes it inside, and then clips it in and goes, ah. Greetings.
Hello. Good morning.
You are not who we expected.
Ah. Who were you expecting?
The runner, the one who was meant to give us information, is he dead?
No, I do not think so. Though we saw him briefly last night.
Very well. Who do we have the
Alive
pleasure?
last we checked. I am Eldred Haugasmither.
And your companions? Guards?
Companions.
He reaches up to the small hatch and then pulls it down. Spring! You have visitors. You hear kind of scurrying. And then a yawn. As you see about just under 2 foot tall, maybe 1.5 feet, a red furred with a long tail squirrel, kind of wearing this kind of greenish leathered armor. You see the squirrel kind of hop down onto the table. This is a Ratatosk. She stretches her arms.
I don't like doing business this early. I'll deal with
That
it from
answers
here,
one question.
tongues.
He sits back and kind of folds his hands. She looks across all of you.
How did they get in?
They said stormy weather.
And the runner, he's dead?
Oh no.
Not
I mean,
that we know
perhaps,
of.
but not to our knowledge.
I imagine you know who I am. What can I do for you?
We are investigating, I believe, the same issue as you.
Is that right?
Yes.
What issue is that?
The poisoning of Thrud.
Poisoning?
Yes.
It is rare that I'm one stage behind someone else.
So your runner has never returned to you. Where did
No.
he say he was going to go after we left him?
I don't
I
think
assumed he would have returned to you.
He did not. In fact, he ran.
Hmm.
He's nowhere in Herod.
fearing
The
his
gates
failure,
are
perhaps.
closed.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, the information he would have told you is that last night, Thrud was discovered to have been poisoned with aether drop.
Ah, Aether drop. Here. No one has the clue.
Apparently. You would think not. I personally wonder if Ares is involved, since Ares was supposed to be here
Interesting.
with Thor.
It is interesting.
Okay. And what do you need from me?
Well, we were hoping you would have more information.
It depends what the question is.
What are the questions?
Willoughby, please.
Ask her about the Auroch.
Yeah.
You, I assume, have wonderful knowledge of the life and wildlife around here.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the cure for aether drop? We have been told we need the milk from a bone-shelled auroch and would like help tracking one down.
I know where one is. Or a few. I think 2. At least close. I know 11 now in total. But here 2.
Yes.
What?
2 within the gates.
Maybe.
This is going to be one of those I know what are you offering me, I'll tell you sort of deals, yes?
You are correct. I know exactly where one is. Oh. She looks across to Ulrich. Maybe a favor for a favor.
What kind of favor?
I've got a couple.
Okay.
One favor I need done is some of my trustees have found themselves captured a little ways to the south.
That is unfortunate.
Yes, and the where is it? Tongues?
You see him kind of reach down. He pulls out a scrolled kind of scrawling of words and kind of puts it on the table. In kind of just standard common, it says, "You want your 3 back, pay up. We want lots. Meet by the crossroads at dusk 2 nights from now, or we cut them heads off."
That's a terrible note.
A ransom. I was going to pay some mercenaries for it, but maybe a little bit of information trading.
Okay.
And
What night is this? 2 nights from now.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
I am not a local. I am doing business down here, and they have seemed to get themselves into a little bit of a predicament.
Can you tell us more about these trustees? Do we know what are they human? Are they Midgardian? Are they like you? Or?
They are complicated human.
That's
Not
wonderful.
everyone.
I can
How
send with
about,
you my negotiator.
About the ransomers. What do you know about
I don't.
them? Nothing.
They jumped on my people somewhere in between the dwarves to the west and here. The
Okay.
southern road that leads out.
And let us be clear. You are not looking to pay a ransom, are you? You are looking to get your people back without paying, I'm assuming.
I want to get these back. They are as silly as it is that they are captured, they are useful. So I'd like them back.
Okay.
So, if it must come down to ransom, then I will pay it. But
Okay.
every other solution first.
Got it.
I have another favor. Is there anything else you need to know the answer to?
I'm sure there is.
Maybe. Try not to tell us
Why
the other
don't-
favor.
But before, your accent fucked me up. You should already owe us something, because we gave you information you didn't have.
He's not wrong.
Why did you send your runner to Thrud's room in the first place?
Thank you, Draven.
This I'll trade you for free.
Seems fair.
My client sent me down here to do a couple of favors. I was not going to stop at Hellet, but then I heard about the festival. So, I made sure to stop in. And my client has interest in the gods. And so asked me to pay attention to the one that shows up. Or the ones. I was gathering information on everything. What they eat, what they drink, what they do. Do they piss? Do they shit? Do they kill? Everything.
You truly expected a mortal man to investigate a god alone and safely?
Call it a rush job.
He's a runner. They're kind of.
He was sneaky.
Runners are useless if they don't come back, as we've seen. To think that this person who works for clients would be so brash to send a runner that might not return.
I didn't expect
buy
him
it.
not to return.
So
Which is why I'm
These are-
suspicious of you. I
he's
warned him.
already.
Hold on, because I warned him. She looks right at Draven. I let him know the consequences of not returning when I've paid him well. So it is curious that he hasn't returned.
It's possible someone waylaid him, someone attacked him. If he was sneaking around, he got caught.
There is more going on in these halls than I think any of us here
Absolutely.
truly understand.
Okay. Yes.
But-
He looks to Lena. She did.
So, you've been gathering information for your client already. Does that mean that you would have information about who was setting up the hall, who would have had access to the setup, who would have made.
I think I have a bit of
Okay.
information that you're going to want.
I think you might. What's that other favor?
I have a question before. Is your client immortal?
I don't know.
I want to insight check that.
Go ahead.
See if I can suss out a lie. That's an 11. 10.
Hard to kind of tell. She's kind of got a playful kind of expression on her face. All I know is he pays well. I've never seen him.
Is it him?
Good. You made me slip up on some information. It is him.
It's not much, but I try and pay attention to things.
You'd make it good in this industry.
Elena, did you have anything else? Does anybody else? Or should
No,
we
I
hear
think,
our friend's other favor?
Yeah, maybe tell us the other favor. We see if we can help you out and you can help us out a little bit more.
There is. Do you know what a scald stone is?
Looks
Do
at
we?
DM.
Do we?
Midgardians. Anyone who might have. Actually, Willoughby. I'd say everyone from Midgard roll a
history check. But Willoughby, you can roll with advantage.
11.
12.
17.
17.
Scoldstones were created by Mimir, which is why you might have heard of them as you frequent in your area. They are essentially stones to test for greater bards to come forth. Skalds being kind of bards in this area. You wouldn't necessarily know what they are, but Mimir set up a series of challenges for these bards to go out and do so that they could become greater and be rewarded for them. But they've been mostly neglected for a long time because it's a great pilgrimage to go across the entirety of what spans several realms.
Relay that.
Yes, you are aware then. Well, there is one here near Hellet. I wish to know the words. Well, my client does.
Okay.
I'll give you the information of where you need to go to it, but if you can get me the first line of the poem there, once you solve the riddle.
We have to solve a riddle to get the first line of the poem.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I'm not too sure of them myself. No one really goes after them anymore, and my client has interest in the words. Some of them are said to be guarded by great creatures. Some of them are said to have challenges of storytelling and wordsmith. So maybe you'll go down there and there'll be a great beast. I have the doubts because there are villages closer by.
Solving riddles sounds easier than fighting kidnappers, but I don't mind
Not
either
always
one.
when it comes to Mimir.
What
You know better.
what direction is the stone?
Yes.
That is deep in the south.
Oh, so we need to go south for the
South and in west along the road to get to the
shore.
kidnappers, to get to the crossroad, but straight south to get to the Skull Store. Do those two,
Okay.
and I'll provide you, as I did here. One of the favors will pay for where you might find a bone-shard orc, and the other one, I think you'll like the information for.
It's not a great reassurance that a promise that we will like the information, but
But
then
I
allow me a
love
little more.
secrets.
we can maybe ask some other questions. And Eldred
Yes.
loves secrets. Spring, if I may, perhaps not quite a question for free, but a clarification, if I may. You said no one here had the coin for 8-drop. How are you so sure? How do you know that? You seemed very confident when you said it.
It is my job to
Of course.
learn the area. If you were to buy a drop of drop, I would say you're spending closer to the realms of, for a single drop, 20,000 gold? Maybe 30,000? This is beyond anyone here that I know of. Perhaps there are merchants and brokers here that could afford that.
What about a king or a prince?
These are the right kind of questions. Perhaps my other information will lead you to it.
Interesting. Companions, any questions? I don't wish to take up all our time.
I have nothing to ask.
As long as we know where to go for both of these favors.
You see, as she kind
Yes.
of rustles down and kind of pulls out a map. Tongues? She pushes her knife into one corner and he leans across, dots out a kind of a quill and starts kind of marking. He draws a little circle around Hera and then shows you where the crossroads are and then shows you where the Skull Stone is believed to be. Rolls it back up and hands it over.
For this prisoner exchange, you mentioned sending a negotiator with us. Do we have? I'm assuming we go on the night that they agreed, and we will meet them there. Yes.
Yes. You do
In a
not have
day's
to bring
time?
my negotiator, but I... Can any of you
No.
negotiate?
I mean,
I'll
why not?
send him
Depends
along
what you
with
mean by negotiations, and I'll just crack my knuckles.
That is why I'm sending you. This one is a little less on the fighting side.
So we meet them there?
At the
They
crossroads.
come. Yes. Okay. What do? How do
Oh,
you know
no, the
Flynn?
negotiator?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, he'll go with you.
No, he's going to come with us.
He's outside.
Okay.
I believe losing a game of liar's dice. Looks the tongues. Currently in the date of 47 gold.
Oh goodness.
Tomorrow night, this exchange takes place. What tonight?
Tomorrow night at the crossroads.
Tomorrow.
When we look at the map, like how far a walk is it? Like,
It's
How
not
many-
terribly far to kind of move around Herod, and its area, so probably only like a few hours walk.
okay.
Okay.
How much farther? Like, does it look for the
Yeah, the skull.
About half a day. It's closer to the
half a day?
mountain.
Okay, so we wouldn't want to like. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we
it
could
sounds
do
like
that
we could
first.
Do the stone first, come back.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
However,
It's just we'd have to come all the way
If we're
back
gonna do
and-
the stone, I'd rather long rest before we do it, so I can prepare a spell.
Yeah,
And then if we do that, we're on the next day where we would.
but it's not till evening the next day.
I mean,
so
we could
again,
also just decline taking the negotiator. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Good.
probably be as able as the negotiator to begin with, being realistic.
Yeah, we could just go from the Skullstone to the.
Yeah,
to the
that's what I was
meeting.
thinking. But I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
like this negotiator just makes this a lot more work for us.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, more work
No.
bringing them, but I guess less work at the actual negotiation, potentially. Yeah.
And then that means also if we need a long rest after the Skullstone, we've got that time either side.
I thought you wanted a long rest before the Scaldstone to have a specific
Yes.
spell.
I need to, if we're going to look for the Scald Stone, I would like to rest at least for a time. You'll understand why.
Okay.
I've dealt with Mimir before, and I can tell you that it would be wise to prepare for
Right.
various things. Don't worry, I can handle it.
Okay.
Is Willoughby the only one that needs to rest? Because we could just put him in a cart.
I'm fine. I don't need to rest.
Okay.
If you have any advice on how to prepare, I also have preparations to make.
Well, I mean, any sort of divination that you have? He likes his riddles. Certainly. I was intending to prepare a simple object location spell, because I'm quite familiar with these items that we're looking for.
Well, that isn't doing that dangerous because that's cheating.
Knowing the destination of it is only part of the trick. Actually knowing how to read it is the more difficult part.
The gods help those who help themselves.
Shall we leave this kind
Yes.
lady's
Thank you.
chambers, and perhaps we could get a drink and discuss our next plans?
It was lovely to meet you.
Yes.
Yes.
If you do not want to bring him as a negotiator, I would advise he comes along and holds the sum of 300 gold. This is if you have to pay the ransom.
Okay.
I think that we'll be okay. I think the timing will allow us to travel there. For Willoughby to rest, we travel there, we travel back. I think we will still have plenty of time. If this meeting is not till the evening and it's only a few hours away,
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
If Willoughby can force himself to rest right now, I mean, we just woke up.
Well, I can
like a
rest. It
tree.
simply takes about 8 hours to
I don't think he sleeps
prepare.
anyway.
That's true.
I
We
just
can
can't
discuss
be-
this outside, yes?
And I do like the idea of putting Willoughby in a cart and we just sort of take him with us. He just trees, you know?
Less
All right.
walking I have to do, the better.
Okay. Yeah. all right.
Okay.
We leave, I guess.
She climbs up into the panel and Tongues takes out his tongue, puts out another one and says, "Goodbye." Just kind of nods his head to you, and the bouncer leads you out, closes the door behind you all, allows you to leave. So we're just going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break just to use a loo, get a drink and whatnot, and we'll come back.
Right on.
All right, be right back.
Right on.
Quest, quest, quest.
Stretch your legs, chap. Be back in just a moment. Also, you'll notice new fan art will come up into this reel soon. I'm going to be editing it probably this week to throw in a couple of the fan art pieces that have come in as well. If you do draw any fan art, go ahead and post it in the Discord for... It's called the Fudged Rolls Discord. It's where we do all our D&D games. You'll see a fan art section. And if with your consent, if you post it in there, just say if you don't want it to be on the reel. But I'll be throwing up some of the fan art onto the reel. So you'll see your name up there. All right, be right back. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and bring things back up.
Yes.
All right. So, come back into things.
Big brain.
You got some strats. Okay.
No, we've been having deep conversations. We've been having like strategy meetings during the break instead of. I didn't go and get a drink or anything. I was just.
We're gonna need 10-minute breaks from now on.
10-minute strategy breaks.
Right. We need a little timer ticking down for us so we can see.
Yeah,
Well,
Tomas, do you want to reiterate what you were saying about like your thoughts on like the timing?
We have a time limit as a result of Thrud being poisoned and dying, where it almost makes sense that we complete one favor and then treat the other one as something we can do after we've dealt with the Auroch, because we don't know if that is going to be an instant thing we could just walk over and grab. It might be a process as well.
And we run a risk of doing both. That's less time to do that. And
Yeah, again, right? Goldstone's not going to go anywhere that we know of. So we take the gamble. We do the ransom first. We bring the dude.
But that does force us. That does force us to wait a day and a half, anyways.
Whereas
There's
Goldstone
a
is
festival going on.
Still be alive.
There's a huge party. There's a festival. We have things to do.
True.
Go to the fighting
There
pits.
is something that might shorten some of it. I mean, like, if we find out where the Auroch is, we could take Thrud's body with us.
I'm not carrying her.
Put in a cart with Willoughby.
What cart?
A bunch of people.
Can we put wheels on Willoughby? Can we make a cart? Can we just give you wheels and just push you?
A little transformer.
Like a little wheelbarrow.
Willoughby.
If you can manifest a bow out of your hands.
Yeah, can you manifest wheels? Come on, just try.
Can you give me like a fucking circle of the stars constellation for car?
Can you try?
Yeah.
Can you give me like a car?
You know what? There are a lot of fucking stars in the skies, man. There's got to be a cart fucking somewhere. Just look up. Let's find it.
That's
where
right
now.
The first person who invented a car got their inspiration from the stars.
Yeah, absolutely. From the stars. I read that. Yeah.
We'll call it a Willoughby. That's what it will be known as in this universe.
Exactly.
When I get in my Willoughby, go to the store.
So, your thoughts are to stay around the festival for a couple of days?
No, we'll just we'll do the ransom first.
Okay.
We'll stick around, kill some time, do a rest, do the ransom.
Okay.
Then do the Skullstone.
Okay.
After we get the Auroch.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Are you wanting to do anything for the rest of the day or anything like that? Is there anything you want to check out?
Oh, okay. Draven, fight it.
Get some food, get a fight.
Are you hungry? You want some tasty blood? Num num num? You want num nums?
Oh my god, you call me dark.
Does Juno say that out loud?
No. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't do the voice.
She's totally staring at you in a way that you know it's exactly what she's thinking.
I got smite, so I was just making sure for myself.
Num nums?
So you have there's drinking contests. There are there's the fighting pit area. There is gambling area. You've got all manner of things. You can just kind of go around and explore. There's shops.
I have no money.
Yeah, you guys don't really have.
Let me start just drinking and spreading rumors. But rumors specifically about why Thor didn't show up.
Okay.
Just
give
making
me some
up
examples.
nonsense. I heard that Thor didn't show up because he's preparing for war. I heard that Thor sent his daughter because he didn't think Ares was worth his time. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Just mainly to see like who retorts anything.
Go ahead and give me a I'm going to say a persuasion check and a performance check. Performance is just to see how fast you can spread it. Persuasion check is how many people you convince.
Performance is 10. Persuasion is 24.
Okay. you don't get through as many people as you hoped for. Like you'd go around, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit rushed. But during the course of time you go and do this, every person you speak to, you've got this air of confidence about you that like they mean that makes sense. And then you know that they're going to go off and spread it. It's a slow spreading rumor, this one, as opposed to quickly spreading. But you know it's going to spread now.
Wonderful. All I needed.
So we're spending basically a day just doing our own things.
Yeah.
Because there is one thing
you want to do.
If it's possible, because I know we've already done quite a bit to extend Thrud's survivability with this poison, but I do also have protection from poison.
Mhm.
I think Willoughby would spend some time trying to extend the expiration date a little bit.
Okay.
Great move.
Look at protection from poison. I believe. How long's it? Can you post it?
It is
There you go. Cool.
it is an hour, but it neutralizes.
Yeah. Okay.
So like it would. I sort of interpret it as like it would decrease the toxicity a little bit.
That is
over the
absolutely
course
fine.
Of the castings.
It definitely is going to push it back by some time. Go and give me a medicine check just to see if you can extend it to be like even more powerful.
Okay, I would say that while
Spending
he's
time.
doing this, he's definitely constellation for it. So medicine.
Such a cool ability.
I
So
really
useful.
like that. So that means that I actually rolled a 15. I can't have any lower than a 15 on my medicine check.
Okay. With a 15, I would say you've probably extended her life by another probably day and a half. So now she's got probably about another 4 days before it's ever going to take hold. You've managed to keep her alive consistently. At this point, it's very much a case of unless someone kills her, you can probably just keep her alive.
Okay.
I just
wanted to make sure it wasn't
face.
like 2 days because that aligned very poorly with us being able to find the
did.
Uruk.
No, that's great.
So that gets us some time.
Gives you some more time for sure. Yeah, you now have like four or 5 days till you estimate that she'd probably pass from the poison.
Was there anything going on in that, excuse me, in that main hall? Like, or is it just where people gather to like eat and whatever? Like, was there?
The main hall is mostly a food hall.
Okay.
Some you'd be able to get, for the most part. Some people are fighting away from that. There's also other smaller activities going on and stuff, and you would get some gambling happening in every hall, but for the most part, people split off. There's a gambling hall, there's a fighting hall, there is the food hall and drink. That main one is mostly just there for everyone to kind of gather and work out what they're doing for the day. Treat it like a foyer.
That's where the king takes like audience and stuff as well, right?
Oh, that'd be the King's Hall. There's another hall as a
right.
major. The first, well, no, I don't think you ever.
Sorry, I mean the one where like the, the Grunlings busted in and there.
Oh
was,
yeah,
like,
that was the King's Hall.
tankard
Yeah,
and that.
I mean that's
Yeah.
mostly just
So sorry.
audiences for the king. Yeah. There is a major hall just for eating and drinking and stuff where you'd
Okay.
detach and go everywhere else. But yeah, that's the King's Hall. Is there anything else anyone wants to do today?
I will sort of
Whatever
look
you
at whoever's still around and be like, well, I know we have some time, but after the battle yesterday, I've been doing a lot of thinking during the night, and I'm going to go to the fighting arena. There are some things I need to figure out, and I think best when I'm exercising. So,
Okay.
I don't know if anybody wants to join me, but that's where I'll be. So.
I will watch.
Yes, I will watch too. I think at some point I would like to, maybe when we get something to eat, I might like to take a walk back towards the King's Hall and just quietly sit and eat and watch who comes in and who comes out and where they come from, just so we can see who's around. But we don't need to do that now. Let's go.
Please, no, if you need to.
Let's
but,
go think with fists.
Okay.
Okay. So, who's going down to the fighting hall with Juno and Lena?
Eldritch.
Maybe you're going elsewhere? Okay. Just go to the fighting hall for now then. You walk your way around to the kind of sweatier, smellier room, but a lot kind of more boisterous. It's almost like last night's events didn't occur. People are shouting, drinking, kind of getting back into the merry essence of the festival. You'd see the kind of fighting area that's been built in the center. It's almost just built out of several furniture pieces that have just kind of been nailed into the ground and turned into like a circle arena. Sand pit where usually you'd put the spits of fire across it. It's now been turned into this kind of fighting pit. It's not a very big one. It's only probably about 20 feet by 20 feet, but it's a good enough one for like maybe a duo fight or a singular fight. You can see there's kind of an announcer, almost person who's kind of giving play-by-plays, like, oh! As you see in the arena right now, you see a kind of a taller guy, a bit kind of skinnier, but his arm reaches kind of long, fighting against what is kind of like a stockier dwarf. And you can see he punches him across the jaw, and the dwarf is just kind of like holding his fists up, getting close, and just starts pushing in with punches to the chest. He starts to get like almost a little bit winded and pulls back and then falls against the side. And you just see the dwarf knock him out with a final kind of blow. And people cheering. You hear the kind of commentator who's just a short human lady. She's like, and with that, Brock wins again. Pay up your coin, everyone. Make sure and we'll prepare for other fighters. If you are looking to fight, come up and visit me. You see people kind of start dragging the taller guy out, bringing him out, and Brock kind of goes over to one corner where he's got a trainer who kind of wraps his fists around and just kind of unwraps them and just starts washing off his knuckles and pouring water over his face. People moving around, paying out. A lot of people just kind of winning money. But yeah, she kind of sits back in her kind of higher chair. She's on a chair that's on a table, but been nailed to it. As you can see, it's kind of been there for a little bit of time.
Juno goes straight up.
She looks down to you. You got someone you want to send in to fight?
Yes, me.
Sorry? You?
Yes.
Join me to ask Brock to take a break. Maybe we get
No.
someone in.
Whoever you want.
She leans down. Listen, kid. He's a trained fighter.
I can see that.
I get it. Some people want to prove themselves in the ring, but you don't need to get your ass kicked.
I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to learn. And if I get my ass kicked, I've learned a great lesson.
Suit yourself. All right, everyone. We've got another fight for Brock. You will kind of move around, look around. What's your name?
Juno.
Juno? Okay.
If you want, you can use my full name.
What is it?
Juno Jocasta.
I like it.
Juno Jocasta from Mesogaia.
One has come all the way here, traveled the great seas, moved between realms just for this single day to fight here in this legendary pit against Brock, the 3-time champion of the area. He's not lost a fight this festival. 3 fights down. The 4th one. The bets are on. The underdog, Juno, or Brock, the current reigning champion. Get your bets in. And you see it, they're all just going to muster around. People start passing off, little slips and whatnot. And she looks down to you and goes, get in the arena, and you'll have to pay for the water and the ice.
I want to go up and bet 5 gold on Juno.
Shit.
Okay. It is a
I wouldn't, but okay.
It is a 6-to-1 odds, so you will win 30 gold if Juno wins. You climb in, you see Brock kind of click his neck, and he looks across. His knuckles get wrapped up by his trainer again. He kind of pushes his fist together and looks across to you. It is bare knuckle boxing, or any fighting style you like. Looks across to you. You see he's got a little bit of bruising on his chest, but he kind of just beats his chest again. Walks up forward. The referee steps in. It's kind of a skinnier man with kind of a larger kind of front teeth, and he goes, right. If you're going to fight, the only rule is don't try and kill the other person. We don't have to clean it up.
Oh, good.
No aiming for below the waist, unless you're knocking them over. Try not to hit them in the groin or everything. And knock the other person out if you can. Otherwise, it'll be 3 rounds. All right.
I'm gonna bet. I'll bet 2 gold, and I'll look at Eldred, and I'll just be like, you have a little more confidence than I do, but she's going to do good.
Okay. Put your fists together. When I say break, fight.
That concept is really alien to Juno. Like, she puts her fists out, but it's like she's like, "What is this? Like this ritual?"
You see him press his fist up against yours and just smirks.
I've never met a being like yourself before. How interesting.
Oh, you're about to meet a very beloved part of me. And he just kisses his fist and steps back. Fight! You see, she kind of leans up the commentator and looks down at you both. Go ahead and roll your initiative. It's just going to be a 1-2.
Okay.
We'll do it all theater of the mind.
Go. Oh, shit! Look at that initiative.
He rolled a nat 20.
God damn it! Come on!
That's fine.
He's going to step in and looking at. I'll try to make it quick. And then he goes in for a left jab and then swings his right in for a hook. 8 plus 3, 11 to hit.
Nope. And it's Juno's very sort of like just stands, almost reads still, and then as he like throws the punch, it's just the slightest step back. Just like,
Fuck yeah!
And then you see the commentator. It seems she's lucky this one. Let's see if the gods protect her for the entire fight. Kind of looking around.
Is
a
this
little
how
bit
you do
confused.
things? Is this how you do things in Midgard? You didn't even ask me a question when you attacked.
He goes in for another swing. 18 to hit this time.
That will hit, and I can't do anything about it just yet. So,
5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As he just knocks you into it. We don't talk, we fight. That's what you do here. Now fight me back. And kind of raises his fist up. Your
how
turn.
pointless. You don't learn anything. Well, and yeah, Juno kind of like takes a couple of like boxer steps back, and she closes her eyes for a second.
Okay.
And I think she's gonna just stop dead still. I'm gonna use a bonus action to spend a key point to take patient defense. And then I'm gonna ready an action that when he goes to attack me, I'm gonna basically just try and counterattack him. And it's kind of a bit showboaty, but it's also like when she does it, she will look over to him and just be like, I still haven't got the read on you. Why do you fight? What are you trying to prove?
Well, you're talking so much. You just fucking fight. And he's gonna go in for a swing at you.
It's disadvantage on all of his attacks against me.
Yeah, that's only a 7, and he just swings short. Brings his fist back up.
I'm like,
He's slow to bring him back
in
up.
the crowd.
It's your attack.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I will make my ready to action, which is just going to be my unarmed strike. It's only a 7, so I'm gonna miss on that one.
Yeah, he kind
you
of
can do it.
blocks against the punch.
I kind of almost see this as like a plate, like kind of like testing his guard kind of
Okay,
thing.
yeah. He's looking. All right. You want to know why I fight? So I can put people like you on the floor. The glory. And then he just winds with his fist and just goes in for a big strike against you.
Still disadvantage.
Yep. A 7. Which is his first hit. Goes in for a secondary hit. Only a 10.
Okay.
Just keeps missing.
I boo.
You see the commenting. This was the first one! Look at her go! And he stands right in front of you. It's your turn.
Okay. So I think like with this, she's like, okay, you're just in it for the glory. You don't have a sense of greater self. Let me show you how we do things in Mesogaia. I've been meaning to put this to the test properly. And Brock, you're gonna see something you've never seen before. And then she turns and she basically makes a pose. She does this at him, and you just hear her say, let me show you what my golden wisdom does. And I'm gonna activate my Arms of the Astral Self by spending a key point. And you guys see, kind of shimmering into appearance behind Juno, is this golden, sort of Athenan warrior woman with this aurora-like hair and these golden wrapped up fists. and this thing just flies towards Brock with a barrage of punches because I'm going to use a key. Oh, actually, no. So when I first activate it, as a bonus action, you spend 1 key point to summon the arms of your astral self. When you do so, each creature of your choice that can see within 10 feet has to make a dex saving throw.
Okay.
Or it takes 2 rolls of my martial art.
He fails.
Okay, so this is going to be 2d4. I'm just going to do this manually.
Sounds good.
So 5 points of force damage.
Does it add your oh, is it just your martial arts? Okay.
This is because this is it. Basically, as the form appears, it like throws like just a barrage as she appears, as Golden Wisdom appears. And then I get to make my attack, but now I get to use my Wisdom modifier instead of my Dex modifier on all my attacks.
Okay.
So, my apologies, I hadn't actually sorted this out yet.
No, it's okay.
Because
feel free to manually roll it if it's not built into the sheet properly.
That's right. I think. Does this do it? Yeah, I can just do it like this for now. So it's only a 10. Annoyingly, is it actually? Yeah, 10.
Yeah, you'd see. It might be the startling effect of him just like
being thrown back.
Yeah, like being knocked back by the initial hit of it. But as the fist comes up,
okay.
He backs away from it, and like it's now more of like just a defensive mode. He goes, shit. And then you just see everyone in the crowd just starts roaring and cheering. The commentator goes, "Looks like this one has more than the gods behind her." That's okay. Did you get? Yeah, you're using.
No. That was just me misclicking.
He comes in. He's like, goes in for a swing.
Sure.
That is a 24 to hit, so he does hit.
That will hit.
6 points of bludgeoning damage as well. He just comes in, just goes in for a really heavy strike and hits you right in the jaw. Okay. And he does a second hit. That one misses though. He just swings again, and you just see it gonna get blocked against your astral self. The Dialogus comes in. He kind of blocks his. Kind of tries to raise his fist, but now they're a little bit shaken.
Nice.
Your turn.
My go. Okay. Now it's a flurry of blows. So now it's 3 unarmed strikes, all with the Dialogus.
Sounds good.
I'm just gonna do it as a manual, I think here. So 1 d20 plus 6. That's a 20 on the first one.
That hits.
I'll just roll all 3 attack rolls and then we'll see how many for damage. 25 on the next one.
That hits.
21 on the last one.
That also hits.
And as the Dialogus like runs forward, it's just like a barrage of punches, and you just hear Juno yelling "Ella!" and then every punch is like "Ella, Ella, la, 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 la," and it's just
yeah.
And then for damage, this is a D4 plus 4 for each one. So
okay.
Roll D4 plus 4. First one is 8.
Fuck
nice.
Yeah.
Second one is 8. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Last one is 5. So
do you want to describe how you knock
21.
him out?
It's just like this, like, and it's almost like as Juno's crying out, like shouting stuff as well. You can almost hear like questions, like, "What is the why are you doing this? Like, what is your purpose? What is your goal? Like, what is the meaning of the gods? Like, all these like big questions. Like every punch is a question, and then eventually it's just so overwhelming it like knocks this dwarf flat.
Yeah.
And Juno hasn't moved. Like she's just had her arms, like she's just been sort of like posing and like holding her arms.
Oh,
and
amazing.
He hits the ground.
Just before you do, by the way, you're gonna see not only do he hit the ground, you get that moment where like the last fist comes up, hits him in the jaw, and you see his feet leave the ground. He just and it's just almost just moment of silence as he
free falls, dude.
Yeah, it's a complete free fall.
Yeah.
And you just see the sand come up, and it masks you for a second, and as it drifts down, you're just stood there with your hand under your chin. And the Dialogus.
Just like thinking, like a thinker's pose, basically.
Yeah. It just like fades in with the sand. Yeah.
And then I imagine that like the Dialogus does flicker and then disappears. Like she can't maintain it for very long, so it just kind of.
Lena casts thaumaturgy quietly, and the ground, when he hits the ground, shakes for a second.
Nice, yeah. And then everyone just goes silent for a moment. When the sand kind of dissipates. Juno Jocasta! And you see as she stands up and goes, "Anyone who won the coin, congratulations to the new champion, Juno Jocasta." And sits back down. You'd get approached, Lena, and earn 12 gold. Eldred, you earned 30. as they come out and pay you out the full sum.
Thank you so much.
Nicely done.
Juno will return to her friends, Eldred and Thingy, and when she's sort of like away from the crowd and the stage light, she does like grip her ribs and things like that. And it's like, okay, that little dwarf guy hit a lot harder than I was expecting, but that felt good. It's really happening.
Does the champion get a prize?
The prize is being champion. Congratulations, champion. Enjoy. Maybe you'll come by and have another fight sometime this festival.
Maybe. We'll see. Eldred is fine. I didn't go in there for a prize. I got what I wanted. Did you? You didn't bet on
I
me.
hand you 10. I hand you 10 gold.
I just like close your hand. I'm like, I don't need it.
No,
You're
you're taking it, and you need
Gold
to take
doesn't
some
mean.
of this.
Gold has no use for me. I promise. I got what I wanted. I really did. You
You eat.
maybe
you
buy me
drink.
something nice.
Okay,
Buy me something nice
I'll
with it, maybe.
put it aside. We'll get you something nice.
I'm very grateful for the gesture. That's very kind of you, but I promise I don't need it. I don't.
Well, no,
I
but
travel.
it needs it. It makes things easier. We'll
Okay.
get something nice. It will be
Good.
fine. You did
That
very
would be
well.
lovely. I would prefer a personal gift that you've thought of than just the money. Thank you.
I would prefer you take a moment and think and be very proud.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
did very well.
That's something that I've been working on for a long time, and I'm glad she's real. There was a couple of times I didn't think she was, but she's always been with me.
That is pretty good. Does
Thank
she?
you.
Does she have a name? Do you talk to her?
I call her Golden Wisdom. She's a representation of my beliefs, my philosophy. Only a handful of philosophers in Mesogaia can manifest the Dialogus. I was told when I was young that I had the gift, but I've never really been able to commit to it. But when we fought those Grendlings, when I nearly died, when you all came to help me, something just clicked. And helping Thrud, even though I know that she's a bad person, I think it made Golden Wisdom real. So,
Well, let me see your nose. Come here.
oh, thank you.
I reach a hand out and summon some ghostly wisps to just give you a little, very cold healing. It's a donero for a cure wounds.
I will get used to it.
Yeah, we all have something,
What?
huh?
8 healing.
Thank you very much.
Whilst this fight's been going on, Draven, what have you been doing?
I wanted to go to Thrud's room to actually have a conversation with Willoughby.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if Willie would have been treating her poison,
You would have walked in while he was actively treating her. Yeah.
making sure no one else is in the room, he would shut the door behind him, and he would kneel next to Thrud and Willoughby, and he would pull out the knife that was on Thrud, try to prick her arm, and see if this weapon would pierce her skin.
Yeah. You notice it does.
Lift it up and show it to Willoughby. I'm curious. I would like an honest answer if you're willing. Do you actively want to see her live?
Her being alive or dead, if I was uninvolved, frankly, is none of my concern, if I'm being totally clear with you. My duty with the gods is not something I am happy about or pleased about, and while I wish I was a good enough person that I could distance Thrud from her father, I cannot, and it's as simple as that, really.
Well, if she did die,
If she
you
did
would not,
die,
you would not care, per se.
wouldn't bother me unless people actively believed I was involved with it.
At this point, no one believes you're involved, so why don't you walk away?
Little curiosity more than anything. If I I'm a very curious person, I would say, in general, and this has been extremely fascinating to me. Returning to Midgard after as much time as I spent in Ethla, this was the first real big thing that's happened since I returned. And, I mean, at the very least, if we save her, and I'm able to say that I helped in saving her, well, that's a bonus to at least show that I hadn't completely disappeared and tried to evade my duty. I returned, delivered the information that I had, and then proceeded to also save a demigod. Well, that sounds extremely beneficial to me.
You want to be a man again.
I want to be free to travel and explore as I wish. Me being a human again would be beneficial in some ways, but the immortality that Yggdrasil provides is also beneficial in others. But being rooted to it, in a sense, is as close to torture as anything I could possibly imagine.
And Draven probably gets a little bit uncomfortably close, and the smile and smirk is completely absent at this point. So what is it keeps you rooted now? Why don't you just leave? You've already died once.
I have been very, very exposed to the gods. They're smart and they're tricky, and I have true...
Lie. It's like mortals. But why?
I've seen their powers. I've seen how capable they are at locating someone, and I firmly believe, as Ethla reopened, that my time of being able to rest and not do my duty disappeared the moment that the gate reopened. While I'd love to spend another 20 years on an extended vacation, I have seen what they are capable of, and it is in truly my best interest, after observing them for as long as I have, to make sure that they understand that I did not actively try to shirk my job I was given. I feel that sometimes when I elaborate on that, it seems like it's from a point of irrational fear, but I assure you, I have been around the gods enough to tell you it is a very rational concern. The magic they can wield is far beyond anything I am capable of, let alone any of you.
Willoughby, I am no stranger to the gods. And in that moment, Draven activates his form of dread to create a figure that you do probably recognize. And I had mentioned to you specifically, Tomato. And the shadows start to lick his skin, creating a figure in mass, probably twice as tall, haunting eyes.
Joe.
Yeah.
Do I, because he sent me what this resembles, have I seen this person?
Could you send me exactly, Gabe, what you
Yeah. It's the one we talked about for the warlock.
Because you gave me a list of who I know.
Yeah.
More personally.
Just making sure I get this right.
Warlocks can just use the hex spell, don't have to be a hex blade.
You wouldn't recognize them.
Ooh, that's worse.
So what is this happening right here?
He just looks up.
So what is this? What's going
What's
on?
the meaning of this?
This is a pact that I've made. Well, I am no stranger to the gods, and let me be clear. This is not the only one I've made. I've also made one with my grandfather. So when I say again, why are you stuck with these choices? Don't understand. You could kill her right now. And the reason I haven't is because of... And then he drops the form of dread. Made them a promise, a deal. So please, would you be opposed? And then he dangles the knife over Thrud's throat.
So, to be clear, you are under a pact with a god, presumably from Mesogaia, from Olympia. One that I'm not familiar with. And he's slowly putting his hand underneath the
Nice.
Gonna take
Drop it.
this away.
I hope he does the
Like,
yawn thing.
very
Like,
casual, while quietly moving something to stop the knife. This may come. This is a strange question to ask, but I feel like it's relevant at this point. How old are you? How long have you existed?
Chose not to count after the 200th year.
Ah, so you are old like me. Well,
Yes.
at least here in Asgard, the place I spend most of my time, because Joe, I'm assuming the base, like we established, the base of Yggdrasil is in Asgard. That's where I would have
it's
been.
it's the highest point. It's basically where the entirety of the trunk is. Yeah, so the roots all the way up to the top point.
I have less familiarity with the gods of your realm. I've seen a couple of them in festivals in Asgard back before the war began, but I have less exposure to them, so I'm not sure if you simply fear them far less than I fear mine. But most of the gods from this realm have always given me... They all act in a sort of more bombastic manner that makes me a little bit less inclined to test their limits and test what they're actually willing to do, if that makes sense. I quite like being alive, especially after I found out how painful it was to die. So, between you and me, even if it does seem a bit cowardly to want to maintain a good relationship with the gods, that is what I truly believe is the best for my very long, very depressing future life in this shell.
Draven takes a step back and sheaths the dagger. Is it a good relationship you wish to maintain? Simply one out of their purview.
If I could continue to exist in Ethela the way I had for the last 20 years, I would have happily never revealed myself to them ever again. I can count the gods from this realm that I actually consider to be decent with simply my fingers, if I had any. And he lifts up his roots. Back when I would have had human fingers, I could have counted them, perhaps even on a single hand. So, I don't much care if they like me, but I do care if they want to kill me.
You would like them to be far away.
I'd like them to be as far away from me as possible, but it's very difficult when you are truly connected to such an important part of their planes itself.
Leans back against a wall. Doesn't it become easy? If your world tree dies, then they're stuck where they are.
If the world tree dies, I die again. Except this time, likely for good. My life is directly connected to that of the world tree, so while yes, I am being threatened with a more expedited death if I don't look for a cure and look for who performed the act, if I twiddle my thumbs and did nothing, eventually, in hundreds of years, thousands of years, when the poison truly does kill a tree as massive as Yggdrasil is, I will die. I'd like to prevent it. As much as I dislike being like this, having an extremely long amount of time to look into ways to perhaps become human again, if I so chose, is an option, but not if there's a time limit hanging over my head.
I'd like to make a deal with you, Willoughby.
What kind of deal?
You're an investigator. I'd like you to help me investigate wrongdoings of my grandmother. Well, the wrongdoings unto grandmother. Because the gods are disgustingly fickle and hedonistic sometimes.
Is your grandmother... You mentioned your grandfather a couple of moments ago. Is your grandfather a mortal?
Not that close yet.
So you want me to investigate for you, but I'm not allowed to know specific details about what you'll be investigating?
Oh, I want to call in the favor when it comes to. In the meantime, I will see what it takes. Return that favor. And avoid your next death.
Well, that seems like a pretty mutually beneficial, vague favor for a favor as of now, so I don't see why I would recline. It seems I have nothing to lose.
Exactly. We've known each other for 24 hours, but entirely honest, the other three are smart and dangerous. And you watch. You spend so much time watching, listening. I've been watching you. I smile because when I smile, they don't look at me, but they walk past you like a passing tree sitting in a pasture. And that intrigues me, Willoughby.
Okay, for a second I thought you were calling me dumb, so I'm glad that you kind of reined that one back.
No, you are far from dumb.
This is interesting. I'm willing to look into things for you when the time comes, but I do hope you'll at least explain to me now at least some of the details involving your grandmother, right?
Grandmother is Mesogaian.
Well, he waits to see if that's actually all you're going to say. He's got like a notebook out. He's like staring at you.
Mesogaian woman left
Mesogaian woman
years ago.
is
That's a start.
Girl. Okay.
Yes.
We'll circle back on this, I suppose. It's time.
Yes.
Circle back around.
Just so it's not a surprise when I mention something of interest.
Okay. And I am assuming this stays exclusively between you and I for the time being.
For the time being, yes.
Do you want me to also keep your thing you just did a secret as well?
Preferably. Juno knows too goddamn much. I don't think she would fail to recognize. The other two, maybe. But probably stab me before they asked a question.
I see. Well, I have no reason to reveal that to anyone. So, your secret is safe with me.
Appreciated.
Puts out two just intertwined roots as if to shake your hand.
Draven shakes his hand, and in that moment, because he's not, since it's self-preservation, he takes a lick of the blade that pierced Thrud's skin.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
What are you doing?
Here he is, like, what are you doing? Mid-sentence.
9.
You would take just a single d6 of damage, just 2 points of poison damage, but you are considered poisoned for the next hour.
Amazing.
You feel queasy. It's a kind of a poison that makes you feel a little bit uneasy, and yeah, you kind of get that kind of sense of your stomach just constantly just trying to turn.
Does Willoughby clock this "you are poisoned"?
Kind of.
Or do you try to play it off because...
I'm going to use 5 points of healing to try to heal the poison as a paladin.
That would work. Yeah, and this form, it's not a super potent poison. It's just kind of a lesser form of one. So yeah, you'd be able to rejuvenate yourself.
1 down.
With you two making a deal And over in the fighting area, Juno, being hailed as a champion, a couple of drinks brought their way and some gold earned. Your group spends the day enjoying some of the festivities, with tomorrow's plan to do a couple of favors in return for information. So you can look into who tried to poison a demigod, or try to poison a god. That is where we'll end tonight's session, though. As we're at Clyde. We're at time.
Long rest? Long rest? Long
You
rest?
can take a long rest before the next rest. And there you go. So, thank you everyone for playing as per usual. I'm excited to see where you go for next time. And like I said, we won't have it. Am I getting this right? Brizzy's next week. Mark's the week after. Yeah. We are still going to be playing though. They'll be jagered by someone and whatnot. I'll explain the rules then. But they won't be missing anything super vital, so don't worry. But yeah. Thanks everyone for playing as per usual. Let's do some shout outs.
If I'm missing the riddle, I'm gonna try to like tune in on my phone and like message you guys.
Sending us messages on Discord.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
Try this one.
Yeah, there's a few riddles which I wrote, which I'll be interested. The playtesting riddles against you, I guess. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Let's go ahead and do a big old shout out going around. Let's start with Gabe and go around this way.
Hi, I'm Gabe Hicks, Gabe James Games across the internet. You can find me Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, pretty much anywhere across the internet under that name. There is not as much going on because I'm going to be running around a bit for the rest of this month. But you can catch me here on Fridays, as always, playing your thirsty damper boy.
Yeah.
Thirst. So much thirst.
Brizzy.
Hi, I'm Brizzy Voices and all the things, including Twitch. And as soon as I hop off of here, Gabe and I are gonna be playing some Among Us.
Woo!
Are you streaming also, Gabe?
No, I don't want to look good. I'm gonna go put on pajamas.
All right.
I'll host
well,
into you then,
if you
Brizzy.
want to listen to Gabe lying, come to my stream after this, and we'll be playing some Among Us with like Thomas Sanders, Kenny Guy Games, maybe Drew Gooden if he's around still, Chris Milberger, some cool people.
Awesome.
Give me a good time.
Yeah, we'll host it. All right. Tomato.
It's all you, Mark. Go for it.
He just deflects. It's just like a monk with deflect missile. Just deflect promo.
He leaned a little bit to the side. Nope.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, mate, for throwing it my way. Yeah, you can catch me Sherlock_Humes on Twitter. Sherlock Humes pretty much everywhere else on the internet. Main thing I do is a D&D show called High Rollers D&D. It's every Sunday, 5 p.m. It's just before Godforged. Come and watch High Rollers, then you can roll straight into Godforged. It's a great day. And we are playing through we're in our second campaign. We're like 150 episodes in. It's like level 17, big epic. They're fighting gods and titans and all sorts, and they're going to space. It's mad. Come and watch that. You can check that out. You can also find me on Wednesdays on Brett Ultimus's channel, playing in Brett's game. I saw Joe raided in for our first session, which was really fun. Very different vibes. But you can come and check that out. Where I play my bunny girl knight, Gloria, who's very fun. And everything else, is just on the internet. But come watch High Rollers. That's it.
Do it.
Sounds good. Oh, gee, Chrissy.
I thought you were just gonna go all the way around and then I wouldn't have to say anything.
Nope.
What's up? I'm OLG. Again, like I said last week, it's probably time for me to do my every 6 months stream. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. You can follow me on Twitter. I am oldlady_gamer because an actual old woman who plays games has it all in one word and hasn't tweeted in like 8 years. So it's cool. It's fine. I'll find her someday, but I'll be very friendly and just ask her if I can have her name.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Joe Fudge. You can see me on this channel. On Tuesdays, I read some homebrew on my channel. Otherwise, this Sunday, watch High Rollers and then take a 30-minute break and then come and watch some Godforged. We're on episode...
Perfect day.
8 is a perfect day for D&D. It is episode 88, I think, this weekend. And the party, they're going after some pretty mean stuff. We're a little bit lower level. They're like 13, 14. So they're they're at the point now where they can teleport anywhere they want. So it's
I need
in
it
the
be
good stage
14.
of the
Come on, Joe.
chaotic world now. But
Don't you
yeah,
want us to catch up to High Rollers? Come on. Come on. They're 17. They're having fun. We could
Oh,
be their
Joe,
dude.
don't do it,
Come
man.
on.
Eventually
Give
you'll
me my
get there.
9th level fucking wizard.
I need level 14. Come on.
Give me my spells. Let me
Look at
cast
me
a
and
wizard.
Tomato. Look
we
how
gotta finish,
sad
man.
we
We gotta
are.
finish. Thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. We'll see you all next week. See you next Friday. Much love to you all, and bye bye. See you then. Bye bye.